Once again, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WarWolf Podcast.
Yes, welcome back, and let's talk about how
world is falling apart.
What's new?
World not falling apart. No. I won't say the world is falling apart. I would say people are trying to unscrew the fucking bolts right now.
Okay,
And right now we're slapping the shit out of them, saying, "What the fuck are you doing?" So I think we should start with the U.S. in this regard, because I was having a conversation on one of the other Discords that I'm in. Me and Poe both know the individual in question. His name's also Mike. He's a cool dude, but at the end of the fucking day, dude definitely latches onto shit that is not healthy for any political discourse that's actually genuine. For example, him and his guys, hooting and raving for the Piers Morgan Nick Fuentes in debate that happened. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, are you guys really rooting for the fucking fag himself?
That happened? I missed it.
It did. It was just yesterday.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, good Lord. That had to be a crap show.
It was.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But the simple fact is that I'm sitting there and I'm like, they're both faggots. Why are we celebrating Fuentes? Like, what is going on? And through the conversation with him, it made me realize, like, okay, you people are literally just retarded. Like, you're just stupid.
All emotion, no thought process.
Absolutely. And it's gotten to the point where now I've been kind of rolling this idea in my head for the past few weeks. We have these Gen Z protests that have been going all across the fucking world. And where are they? The majority of them, where are they happening? They're happening in the Southern Hemisphere. Well, we know for a fact anytime anywhere decides that, they need to have a change in government or a change in policy or whatever, there's always these massive fucking protests. They tend to be these very, very coordinated color revolution type protests. And it always, almost every time, ends with the government being replaced, because the governments themselves, because they're colonial era government types that were never meant to stand on their own anyways, they end up just falling the fuck apart. So it's almost a guarantee that these operations go off without a hitch. And I do believe that's what they are, is that they're just full-blown color revolution operations, where it's like, okay, we need to get rid of this government, install a government that's friendly to the democracies of the world, and then proceed to use them as a bludgeon against our enemies. Like, that's clear what is going on at this point in time to me. At least that's my opinion. Everybody, there's been several people that have been trying to tell me that I'm crazy, but I'm like...
When you say democracies of the world, are you using finger quotes there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to add the finger quotes in when you say that.
I get, quote unquote democracies of the world. But the point is, and I say that tongue in cheek anyways, because I'm like, what? The only fucking democracy that exists in the entire fucking world is the United States anyways. So it's like, I don't understand why.
We are not a democracy. We are a constitutional.
No. I'm saying democracy as in the ability for people to elect their representation and actually be represented, and so on and so forth. That's the term. I'm using the Greek term for democracy, not whatever dumb bullshit they want to spin up. I'm using linguistically, I'm using the term as, we have a representative government. Because let's face it, at this point in time, look at Europe. None of those governments are representative of their people. Maybe, okay, I will kind of alter that statement in terms of the Balkans, Greece, and Italy. Those governments are actually somewhat representative of their governments, even though they're governments are plagued by horrendous fucking corruption at this point in time, given, you got the president in Italy who is trying his damnedest to destroy Italy. You've got in Greece, they're trying desperately to fucking get the Greeks to not let the Americans build the base that we're building there. But the Greeks are like, no, go fuck yourself. We're buying more shit from the Americans. And then the Balkans, they're trying to get the Balkans to kill each other. And then all of a sudden, the Croatians came out of left field and said, hey, we're acknowledging our role in the genocide during the Yugoslav War.
Yeah, I saw that. I was shocked.
No, the Croatians acknowledged that? That's interesting.
That was
peace.
When the Croats came out, went, me a cuppa.
If the peace is breaking out across the Balkans, it can't be allowed for the Northern Europeans. But the fact of the matter is that, I will give those guys a pass, that section of Europe, because they are actually attempting to flip the script on the EU. So I'll give them a pass for sure. But the point is that, at the end of the day, we know who's funding this shit. Now, we do know for a fact now who the ringleader of all this bullshit is. It's that cheese-smelling, wine-swilling piece of shit, Macron, and we know he's the ringleader at this point in time. Or let me rephrase: he's the public face of the ringleaders.
Yeah, I was going to say, he doesn't lead anything. His husband does, but...
Well, yes, you're absolutely right. As I've explained to multiple people across the world, across the board at this point in time, I've been telling people this, and I firmly agree with what Ian Burlingame has been writing and saying for the past 3-4 months that I've been following him. And mind you, this guy fucking came out of left field for me, and it wasn't until he sat down with Tom Luongo and those two talking and bouncing the points off of each other and connecting the human aspect and the economic aspect together was fucking, it was a complete evolution of the whole discourse, and it was just fucking amazing. But, as Ian Burlingame puts it, paternal lines last hundreds of years, maternal lines last thousands.
Yeah.
So at the end of the fucking day, it's like, no, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that the witch in Paris herself is the one pulling all the fucking strings in the background for the purposes of their immediate operations. Now, is she the witch in charge across the board? Hell fucking no. She's fucking middle management at best. She's middle management at best. There's other witches that are above her that we don't know who the fuck they are because they don't have fucking Wikipedia pages. So now, how does this relate to the U.S.? Well, right now they're trying desperately to get a color revolution started here in the U.S. They tried to do it in L.A. They tried to do it in Chicago. They tried to do it in Boise, Idaho. Idaho. Like, you thought that protest was gonna happen? No, the angles. Oh, it's all about the angles. It's when it comes to photography, anybody, let me just say this right now. When it comes to anything to do with the media, if they don't provide a video, they're trying to conceal something. If it's a photo, they're trying to conceal something. And two things always to note. One, is it below or above the head? And is it from particular angles that conceal the true, that tighten up what you're trying to capture? Because the smaller of a space you're trying to focus on, that's an indication that the issue isn't actually as critical as you would be led to believe. So in the case of the protests in Boise, Idaho, they focused very heavily on that one corner, because there's only a few images that come out of Boise, by the way. They focused very heavily on that one corner of the plaza. And then you can see that the protest ends on the road going around the corner. So in reality, there were probably a couple thousand people there at most, not the 10, 15, 20, however many thousand they were trying to claim were there.
Mm-hmm.
But then look at whether or not it's above the headline or below the headline, because if it's above the headline, they're trying to capture a larger picture. They're trying to give you a larger angle. If it's below the headline, they're trying to conceal the angle, because you don't get the full picture if you can only see the people in front. So just some photography lessons for anybody who, you know, I'm novice when it comes to photography, but I do know these things. Just so you guys are aware, like if you're trying to understand, you know, get some subcontext from images that you're seeing, there you go. There's also a reason, you know, we all know the infamous video of ISIS lining those guys up on the beach and slitting their throats. You notice how they were trying to angle it so they could capture everybody in the line, and it was for intimidation factor to make it look like they were just wholesale slaughtering people, when in reality it was like 100 people at most or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but you know what you understand what I'm talking about. Yeah. So
the video that comes to mind for me that was the standout was when they had the 8 or 10 people lined up on the beach together. But I know there's been a few of them that have had many more.
Yes. I'm speaking of a specific event where there was like, I want to say it was around 100. It might have been less. I don't remember, but it was a group of Christians and there were a couple converts, and ISIS had found these guys, and the converts refused to recant their conversion to Christianity. So
that's a good way to, yeah.
But anyways, they've already attempted multiple color revolution attempts here in the United States. And what they're realizing now is that the only way that they're going to be able to get the color revolution is if it happens in Washington, D.C. They're not going to be able to flip the script in some of these states quote unquote organically. They're going to have to force the issue in Washington, create as much chaos in Washington, so then they can start activating their assets in these states. So we got Washington, Oregon, and California. We've got the entirety of New England down to Pennsylvania, into Maryland, into Delaware, into, yada, yada, yada. Well, unfortunately for them, their attempt to scare the National Guard away by killing one and critically wounding another didn't work. It didn't.
Yeah, it didn't fly well.
And the governor of West Virginia said, "Fuck you, I'm going to send a few hundred more." So, yeah. And by the way, I'm gonna let you guys know. I later found out that they had a fuck ton of volunteers that were volunteering to go. Like the West Virginian National Guard are pissed about the shooting. They are pissed.
So.
Yep. I mean,
so
I'd really like to know when these assholes are going to learn that if you kill some of our people, it's not going to make the rest of us cower down. No, it's just going to piss us off and make us want to kill you more.
Shouldn't they have learned that after Pearl Harbor, that, killing Americans doesn't make them back down?
It just makes mushroom clouds.
Yes.
Well, here,
real quick.
Yeah,
here's one of the things about what you said is it just pisses us off. Yeah, they dropped a woman. Mm-hmm. That pisses us off even more, which is why we don't have them in the field.
Yep. Not only a woman, but wasn't she like an 18 or 19-year-old woman as well? So
20.
Oh, 20. Still.
Yeah,
so,
she was young.
Yeah. No, she but here's the point is that there are three things that have been proven, specifically when you're talking about Marines, but the Army has this problem too. There are three things that are proven. don't shoot the officer. The officer is the only thing keeping our guys from committing war crimes. Don't shoot Doc because that's a death sentence, and even the officer is going to join in on the war crimes. And don't touch the women because don't touch the fucking woman.
It's
the officer is the governor on the ass whooping machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though, is that at the end of the day, you know, they're trying to figure out how to get the color revolution started, and what they're realizing now is that there's no way they're going to get the color revolution started at this point in time, and now they have to try to figure out how to get a false flag going, which carries into our discussion about the trying to gin up a conflict between the United States and China. They know damn well they can't gin up a conflict between the U.S. and Russia at this point in time, so they have to try to gin one up between the U.S. and China. Well, as a result of that, I've started hearing rumblings of targeting U.S. assets in the Pacific, and then also launching a potential attack on Taiwan. And Taiwan is a specific kind of vulnerable right now because of the fact that it is an open nation for all intents and purposes, and so it's very easy to be able to false flag there. It's very fucking easy. And then in the case of a U.S. asset, well, unfortunately, unmanned drones are a fucking thing at this point in time.
Yeah. So just to confirm, you don't think that it's going to be an actual, like, it's not going to be China actually invading Taiwan. It's just going to be somebody trying to convince
somebody attacks Taiwan, trying to get Taiwan to react as if they're being attacked by China.
That would be pretty tricky. Doable.
Remember what allegedly happened in the Gulf of Tonkin?
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How easy would it be to accomplish something like that today when every swinging dick has a cell phone with a camera on it?
Well, here's the point, though, is
actually, it might be harder because the second attack, in finger quotes here, in the Gulf of Tonkin never actually happened. The alphabet groups blew it out of proportion. What really happened is it was a couple guys freaking out because they weren't properly trained on radar.
Well, not just that, but also you have the situation with, you're talking about Taiwan. What are the Taiwanese? There's two groups that make up the Taiwanese. What are those two groups?
You've got the original Democrats, Democrat Republican Chinese before communism took over, and then what's the second?
The native Taiwanese.
Yeah, point.
There's not a lot of them left, but there's enough. They make up, I believe it's around 20% of the population overall. But the point is that you have Han Chinese and Taiwanese. So it's real fucking easy to sneak shit in, quote unquote, if you're China, to sneak shit in, quote unquote, and then proceed to blow some shit up. All to create chaos and you know, create casualties in the prelude of an invasion. See where I'm getting at here?
Oh, I get you. And not to mention the fact that all of those chip manufacturers are probably wired to go boom at any moment anyways.
Well, and here's the point. Is what you end up getting, look at the rhetoric regarding Japan and Taiwan. I don't think that's posturing against China. I think that's posturing against outside players.
I'm not familiar enough to be able to make an educated comment on that portion of it.
Well, I'm starting to get that vibe about it. It doesn't seem like it's truly pointed at China. I think it's the outside players. Now, it's it's half pointed at China because of the PLA, and I've discussed this previously, that the CCP has a massive division problem because you have the government and you have the PLA. And there's a huge fucking division between the two when it comes to Taiwan. Because Taiwan, to the government, is a huge gold mine. And they want control of it so that they can fucking make money off of it. But they want it intact. If you listen to the PLA just wants to lay waste to the entire fucking island and just burn it.
Well, you know, Warhound, there is something that we do have to take into consideration in all this bullshit. There is a chance that the PLA faction could win out and get control over not only the government but also the military to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yes, and that possibility, it is a possibility. I won't say it isn't, but it's like a 20% possibility at this point in time if you really take into consideration how many fuckers have gotten purged by Xi Jinping at this point in time. Like, I have been able to catch wind of several instances at this point where there is mass corruption that has been rooted out of the PLA. Like, they're having massive spending cuts within the PLA right now because there's been massive corruption across the board that's being rooted out. And so they're cutting spending from the military budget in China because they're like, oh, so we don't actually need to spend this money because you guys were actually just giving it away to your friends. And
Wait,
so
you're spending military money like the Americans? That is not acceptable.
What'd you say?
Wait, you're spending military money like the Americans? That's not acceptable.
Well, I doubt it's that kind of situation. I suspect it's more along the line I suspect it's more along the lines of, that's weird. Why are you giving money to a bunch of British people? Why are there a bunch of Frenchmen in your contact list?
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't particularly like that over there.
I just want to go on the record and say, fuck the French.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, when you're dealing with a culture that thinks escargot, snails, is a delicacy, you know you got a problem.
Well, no. The bigger problem is that you're dealing with a culture that thinks excess perfume is a substitute for hygiene.
Update the system. Well, let me put you this way. Back in the day when we would do immigration, there was a reason why we would put a pause on immigration. And one of those reasons was to get the French intimately familiar with the concept of soap.
I will bathe myself in perfume and you will fuck off. Fuck off.
Hey, that's not my problem. That's Warhound's problem.
And me with the French name, I will live my French life in peace.
Now, okay, so here's the deal. How does this all connect with the USA? Well, because we are at the center of this all. They are attempting, and I say they being the high table, das Jews, whatever fucking name you want to fucking apply to it. I like the concept of the high table because it actually aligns a lot with what we're fucking seeing at this point in time. But the point is that they are attempting across the board to get the U.S. involved in some conflict to keep us distracted so that they can try to collapse their economies, reissue their currency as the digital euro, federalize Europe, and then they can try to go to war against the Russians. That's their whole fucking goal at this point in time because they don't have any other play to fucking make. Like, it's fucking over. Like, they are between a brick wall and the American steamroller, and the American steamroller's getting really fucking close at this point in time. So
here's a question for you. So is it still your contention that like the reason why that they want war with Russia is basically so they can default out of their debt?
Yes, absolutely. Because okay,
Well,
so
actually, no. So my question is, I just needed to confirm first that was still the ongoing theory. But my question is, why do they need the? Why can't they just default out of it now? Like, why do they need the war? They could theoretically just default out of it now without the mass death.
Okay. So first and foremost, you have to understand how these people operate. If you look at all these conflicts across the past 350, 400 years, basically since the central banking became a thing, that's when these people truly took power.
Yeah.
They are more than willing to sacrifice 4.5% of any population in order to achieve their goals.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
If you average out the death tolls across the board, it comes out to about 4.5%. That is what they're willing to sacrifice in order to obtain their power.
Right, but I mean, is the goal just to save face while defaulting, or is it something else? Because like,
it's definitely there. That's definitely a big portion of it, because if you just default on your debt, then at that point in time, nobody's going to want to loan you money. And if you can't have the confidence of your trade partners, you don't have access to the rest of the market. Period. In a story.
Right. And
so by just going off and defaulting on the debt, this is what makes the whole situation with them threatening to cancel out, $2.3 trillion in bonds and just canceling them out. That's what makes it so hilarious, because it's like, you promise? Yeah. Like, please destroy yourselves. Yes. We do not care. You would make it so fucking easy.
Yeah, but would defaulting on the debt because of a war, like, would that have better ramifications for them if with their trading partner? Like,
yes,
they're still defaulting, aren't they?
Well, yes, but what it would allow them to do, and they've done it. I think the UK has done it like 12 times so far. Mm-hmm. They default during a war, and then they're able to reissue their currency again and again and again. And mind you, the pound sterling still settles something like 20, 25, 30% of foreign exchanges.
Right.
Like, it still settles a huge amount of the Forex market. So you're already you already got a situation where they already have the capability. They just, again, they need the default. And the point is that the war is a war, I should say, a war, not the war, but a war is the perfect cover for it. Now, but there's also the other implications, because if they're in a war, they can default on their debt and then look at whoever's debt they're defaulting on and be like, hey, don't worry, we're going to win this war, we're going to make them pay reparations, and then we're also going to take a bunch of shit from them. And so we'll be able to use that collateral to pay you back.
I see.
Yep. So,
I've also got.
Go ahead.
I've also got to ask, but isn't there also historical precedents for the Europeans actually taking on damage themselves just to quote unquote own their enemies?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a national pastime.
And
for large chunks of history, it's not a case of how much can we hurt you with minimizing how much damage do we cause ourselves. It's how much can we hurt you and the people under us.
Yes. No, again, they're willing to sacrifice that 4.5% number is their own population as well. Because here's the point, is that if they kill off 4.5% of their population, that's 4.5% of the population they don't have to fucking worry about feeding anymore.
That's true.
Like, I will use an example.
Evil.
You're welcome to estrogenics. But let me point something out. Kubrick, when he produced the movie Full Metal Jacket, Full Metal Jacket was not a critique of the Americans necessarily, because where was Full Metal Jacket filmed?
I'm not actually sure.
You know what? To be honest with you, I really don't have any idea where Full Metal Jacket was filmed. I know when it took place, but I don't know where it was filmed.
Will, do you know?
Yeah, I do, and I'm drawing an entire blank on it. But yes, I do know where.
It was filmed in the UK.
Oh, that's right. A large chunk of it was, wasn't it?
No, the entirety of it was.
Full Metal Jacket?
The entire movie.
That makes sense. I mean, wasn't Stanley Kubrick British?
Yeah. And do you know why he filmed Full Metal Jacket in the UK?
Tax credits?
No. All of the bombed out buildings featured in the film,
Oh, yeah, they were still around then.
those were real buildings in the UK that were bombed out from World War II and never got fucking rebuilt. And
Really?
It was a critique of the British government failing to take care of their people because they just said fuck it and left huge swaths of the country to just fucking go ahead and mold away and die.
Really? So they never
correct.
they actually never rebuilt some of these bombed out buildings after World War II? I would have
Oh,
thought.
dude, there were whole towns that were just abandoned because they were just they just said fuck it and left them to rot.
Oh, yeah, there are still towns and villages that have not been rebuilt now.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
You can
correct.
this
go
isn't
into
like
Scotland, and they're all over the damn place.
this isn't like fucking Serbia where they specifically pick and choose buildings to preserve as monuments. No,
Right.
This was just wholesale. We don't give a fuck about these places. They're worthless to us. Just fucking leave them.
You know, another thing too, Stanley Kubrick, he also really isn't all that friendly to quote unquote the powers that be, is he? Or was he?
Oh no, wasn't at all. There was a reason why he was a pariah to the British government.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
There's also a reason why.
All you really have to say about whether or not he was a friend to the powerful is eyes wide shut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like, huh.
yeah, and if you notice, not
real quick,
long after
real
that
quick.
movie was released, he died.
I just want to point out who's the only powerful figure in the UK that he really associated with.
I don't know.
Fuck if I
Elizabeth
know.
II?
Oh,
Queen Lizzie. That was the one.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Oh, by the way, who was the last leader that the UK truly had, and they were desperate for her to die so that they could put, her cuck of a son on the throne. And now,
Elizabeth.
now they're freaking out because his son is going to be replacing him, and his son is building a coalition in the private sector to fucking kill these people. Oh, they're terrified of William. They're terrified of him. But
I have an intelligent question.
Better than just about anybody I have ever heard of.
wait, okay, real quick, William, what'd you say?
Oh, he knows how to hold a grudge better than just about anybody I have ever heard of.
Oh, you should see him how he interacts with Harry. Like that's proof positive right there that motherfucker, like, I can forgive you, but I ain't forgetting, bud. Stoner, what were you saying?
Yeah, I have an intelligent question. All the conspiracy theorists and whatnot say that these people are impossible to get rid of, that you'll never be able to win, da-da-da-da-da, insert black pill here. But if these people are so fucking powerful and whatnot, why is their opposition still sucking air and making moves to counter them?
Oh, that's the point, is that the purpose of the black pill, demoralization is meant to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's the whole point. is that and the way the EM puts it is great. It's the eternal war. Because the estrogens and the responsibles will always be fighting each other in order to gain the upper hand and gain the trust and loyalty of the adoptables. So let me just lay it out real quick for you so you guys truly understand what I'm saying. So you have the estrogens who are the evil motherfuckers, mostly evil as fuck women who are pulling the strings in the background. And again, paternal lines last hundreds of years, maternal lines last thousands of years. Just simple as. So you have the estrogens, which mainly women, lots of estrogenic men in them as well, but a lot of women who are just evil as fuck. And when I say evil as fuck, they were evil at birth. And there's actually some biological science behind this. Then you have the responsibles. Responsibles are not born as responsibles. They learn that they're responsibles as they age. And by the time they're 7 or 8, they start realizing, hey, I should do this, I should do that, I should, push forward and do things. That's how a responsible comes about. And then you have the people in the middle, the adoptables. The adoptables are just your normal everyday folk. They ask questions, they're curious about things, they try to figure shit out. And the goal of the estrogens is to corrupt the adoptables and bring them onto their side so that they can burn the system down and be parasites. And then the responsibles their goal is to teach the adoptables and get them to understand, hey, there are people in this world that are going to try to trick you into, burn, cut your nose to spite your face and get you to fucking do stupid shit. Here's what you actually want to do. So
It sounds to me like you've been listening to a little bit of old school Rudyard Lynch.
No. Rudyard is so fucking off with this shit. It's unfucking real.
Who is that?
Frankly, what is autism?
What if alt hit?
Oh, that guy.
What is autism? Yes. Ruddy's completely off base. He's completely off base. He sees a problem. He understands there's a problem, but he has no fucking idea the direction of the problem. He has no idea Ruddy is an adoptable that's very easily corrupted across the board. Like if Ruddy was, find the right woman that can pussy whoop that boy and he's gone. It's done. I don't have any respect for the child at this point in time. I'm going to be honest. I don't pay attention to him whatsoever. Every time I hear him speak, I want to punch him in the face.
Well, the reason why I said that is because he basically pretty much said the same thing you did. That basically the power elites operate off of a quote-unquote feminine energy. The opposition is very masculine, and the feminine cannot stand against the masculine in a straight-up fight, so they...
Nope. That's the problem, is that you're thinking from a feminine versus masculine, and that's the fucking problem, because it's not feminine versus masculine. It's feminine versus feminine. The masculine are the tools. It's women versus women. Women run the fucking show, dude, across the board. It's whether or not the men understand that and are able to be directed properly. Because it's always a woman standing in the background who said, hey, that guy over there, you need to go fucking kill his ass.
All right. Lady Macbeth, for example.
But the point is, and the perfect example of an estrogen. Mm-hmm. But the point is that at the end of the fucking day, what you end up having is that, I'll use Queen Elizabeth as the example. She was a responsible. She understood the underlying fucking problems. The problem is the estrogens within her government that she couldn't stand up against once they got rid of her other responsible allies. And that's why the UK is falling apart like it is because the estrogens have won. And the only way the UK will be saved is through a liberation. And that liberation will come at the head of M1 Abrams and fucking Apache helicopters.
Yeah, let's just face the fact that at some point we're going to be looking at what is it going to be, 18th Crusade?
Yes, and it's going to result in the American colonization of Europe. Like, I want you guys to understand, like, this is not, like, this is a war. It's full-bore a war. And we are not going to come out of this bloodless. But the point is how many are we willing? Like they're willing to sacrifice 4.5% of the population. Me, I'm sitting here, I'm like, I'm willing to kill 10% of them. Fuck it. I'll willingly fucking draw the blood in order to be able to fucking say what is mine. Fuck you.
Right.
But again, how does this tie back to the United States? Well, right now, the United States is currently under attack. Now, something that EM and Tom have pointed out to me, and me and Halsey had this conversation one time as well, and I didn't truly understand, because the way that Halsey put it was very there was an abstract to it that was just like, okay, I can kind of see what you're saying, but at the same time, there's too many ambiguities. When you link, and this is why Tom and EM are truly the thought leaders in our movement, and this is why I keep pushing you guys to fucking follow these guys as hard as fucking possible, because at the end of the fucking day, when you combine Tom's knowledge of the markets and the financials and EM's knowledge of the innate human nature, because at the end of the day, there's no one person that's going to be able to fucking do it all. You're going to have a group of people bringing it together. But when they can fucking come together in a conversation and link those two things together in a very, very non-ambiguous way, it's very fucking, it's telling. Like, I've completely flipped on the Indians. At this point in time, fucking nuke that shit. Fucking kill them all. Because they're nothing more than a tool for the Brits. They're nothing more than a tool for the French. They're nothing more than a tool for the Germans. They are a tool, nothing less. Nothing more. They are just reliable. They are purely just a tool, and they're being used to corrupt and destroy the United States right now, and it's fucking horrendous. Because here's the thing, is at the end of the day, you really look into it, and it's like, oh shit. All of these companies that are now being headed by Indians, who you'll look into them and you're like, oh shit, they're educated in Europe. And then they start importing all their people that were educated in schools established by the Europeans, that are funded by European NGOs and staffed and ran by Europeans. Like, once you start digging deeper into it, like my whole thing previously, like I hated people who were just like, oh, my shit skins. Well, I don't give a shit about that argument. Give me fucking data. Give me an actual fucking line to trace, you fucking asshole. Well, guess what? Ian and fucking Tom Luongo, fucking three fucking podcasts of them together, and they fucking trace the line beautifully. And I'm sitting here and you guys fucking know it. Fucking 2 months ago, I was sitting there fucking defending the motherfuckers. Now I'm like, fuck it, kill them. Kill them all. We'll take the Brahmin. We'll remove the Brahmin from the country, or from India, just to be able to lay waste to the rest of them, and then we'll put the Brahmin back and let them fucking rebuild, Vijayanagara and fucking Magyar and so on and so forth. We'll let them rebuild the old kingdoms. But no, fuck it. Just fucking lay waste. Because they're nothing more than a tool of the Europeans.
Would it be wrong to say that the Indians are literal biological weapons?
They're the Tyranids.
Yes.
But no, that's the whole thing.
No, they're the first boss from Conqueror's Bad Fur Day. Those who know.
Do they have a good singing voice?
I wish I didn't know.
But the point is what you end up having here in the United States is we also need to fucking realize, and this is a very, very, very distinct thing, is we also need to learn that we need to moderate the position. We need to understand. We need to be meticulous, and we need to fucking keep it under wraps. Going around wholesale killing motherfuckers, that's not going to work. It's just not. Period in the story. It's just going to result in us killing a bunch of our own people. Period. You know, I'll say it like this. You know, my fucking my old primary care physician. She is Indian, Brahmin, through and through. Fucking excellent woman. And trust me, I have made some spicy fucking comments, and this woman has fucking, like, she'll make a joke back. She's one of us, through and through. She pure-blooded fucking Indo-American, like, across the fucking board. He isn't the one we need to be focused on.
Correct.
We need to be focused on these, you know, fucking, you know, what's the guy running Google?
Sundar Pichai.
Sundar
like
Pichai. You know, he's the motherfucker. He is the kind of motherfucker we need to be focused on.
Yes, and
I think it's all of his little flunkies running around Google.
Yeah, I
shit
think
like that.
It's worth noting, especially you mentioned him, and then how you compare him to your primary care physician who's been here quite a while. It's almost all of the bad ones came over here in the past 20 years. Everyone who has been here longer than that, completely normal.
Well, I can say this with confidence. I've known my doctor since I was 5 years old. So, you know, I trust the woman unconditionally at this point in time.
But
I've known the woman now.
Part of that. Sorry, finish and then I'll say it.
No, go ahead.
Part of that is you have to look at their class structure over there and where they are from geographically.
Yeah,
because
well, yes, but I also
big issues on that.
I want to point this out: is the class system over there was literally intended as a weapon.
Yeah, I know.
It was a system that died fucking 4,000 years ago, and then it was brought back by the East India Trading Company. So, like, at the end of the day, even that was a weapon against them in order to fucking keep them as divided as possible. But that's the thing, though, is understanding that there is a difference between my doctor and that little bitch over at Google is what we need to realize. Because the same way how recognizing that your neighbor, you know, that fucking loser down the street who, you know, has a fucking, you know, in this house, we believe science and we believe in human rights. And, you know, that sign that people put out in front of their house, understanding that those little idiots, you know, they're just fucking mog flunkies. Like, they're no fucking threat. They're not going to fucking.
We believe in science and in biology and in common sense. And okay, what about the zygote?
Yeah. we believe in science, even biology. No, not that one.
Yeah,
not that one. But the point is at the end of the day, we need to understand that there is a difference between those. Like, we need to understand the differences, because if we don't, it's going to be a bloodletting. Now, it's going to be a bloodletting on our terms, because go fuck yourself, Europe. You ain't getting the war that you want. We're gonna do our own bloodletting. Fuck you.
You know, best possible outcome for us is let Europe burn itself down and then deal with the aftermath and clean shit up.
Absolutely. Well, that's what it's going to end up turning into in the structure and in the current analysis that I have. That's what it's going to turn into, is that Europe is going to end up melting down at this point in time before they can get the war that they want here. Because we're not giving them the opportunity to start it. That's why we're at the final phase where they need to false flag something with the Chinese in order to get the war started. And I don't see us fucking giving it to them, because I posted a piece earlier in general chat. It was by Ian Burlingame talking about Tulsi Gabbard. And frankly speaking, that woman has proven herself through and through. She is a true fucking matriarch. Like, I had forgotten this because it was something that came across my feed randomly one time, and I didn't truly fucking appreciate the significance of it until I heard Ian bring it up in a podcast that he just did with Tom Luongo, Alex Craner, and Tommy Kerrigan. But Tulsi Gabbard left Congress to start a family. That's why she left Congress.
But yeah, that was a large portion of the reason. It wasn't the only reason, but it was a large portion.
And then she had a miscarriage.
Yep.
And what did she do? She didn't run off and hide. She didn't fucking fall into fucking despair. The woman fucking led a goddamn charge against these motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sorry. At this point in time, she said, if I can't have children of my own, I adopt this country.
Pretty much.
And it's like, I'm sorry. No, fuck you. Don't fucking twist these words. That's my mom.
I've always called Tulsi Gabbard mommy.
Shut the fuck
I
up.
thought she did have a kid.
No, she didn't. She had a miscarriage.
I thought she like had a son.
It's possible
Well,
she
might have had,
and then had a miscarriage after. Like maybe she got pregnant again. And then...
maybe she had the miscarriage first and then eventually. But I remember hearing that that the pregnancy that was right, like she left Congress pregnant, and then there was a miscarriage. That's what I remember reading about.
Her son spoke with Tucker recently, and there's an interview.
No, that was Nikki Haley's son.
Oh my God, wow.
Yeah, that was Nikki's.
Being
Okay, I was about to say,
What? Do they all look the same to you?
Yes, actually. I've dated 3 Indians. You know, there are some things that they have in common.
Tulsi Gabbard is not Indian. First off, fuck off.
I thought she was.
She's Polynesian.
She's Hawaiian.
Yeah, she's Hawaiian.
Well, I mean, for all I know, she could have been mixed. Fuck off. Ignore my postpartum brain.
Anyways, getting back to the point. The point is, the woman said, "Fuck you! I'm adopting the sons and daughters of this nation."
Yeah, well, when her former coworkers decided to break out the blood flag and go after her, that was kind of the last. That was the last straw.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But then realize what she's doing right now. She's fucking dissecting these people. They start some shit. She drops documents. They fucking start trying to fucking start a goddamn protest. She fucking reveals who's funding it. She's fucking dissecting these people on an atomic fucking level 99% of the goddamn time, and the other 1% of the time she's fucking taking the time to go to the gun range.
Yeah, a Hawaiian that knows their guns. Go figure.
But that's the hilarious part about this whole situation, because, this is also another reason why I fucking despise Nick Fuentes. Look how much Nicky and his little fucking crew of fuckheads have gone after her because she's not doing enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's Tucker going on with that too. On her.
And then here's a fun little bit for you guys. Why is it that every time something fucking starts, Nicky and his little fuckheads start spinning opposition to it? Venezuela. We're boofing fucking narcos day in and day out. And for some reason, Nick Fuentes has a problem with us killing. Maybe it's because they're his people, and so he's mad that we're killing his people. And
Well, he's
so
also
being,
very effeminate, so
oh yeah, he's an estrogen from hell.
he is
Well, you have to also remember
proven to
that
be bisexual, so
Go ahead, Will. I'm sorry.
Wait, he likes women?
oh, he's actually no, but a lot of people. He gives me bisexual vibes. Like there is no Zoomer man with that hairstyle that is straight.
that's
I would know.
It's a good point. You spend way too
I
much.
would know. Every time I see a dude with that gamer boy, e-boy haircut, whatever you want to call it, he is a little.
Pretty?
He's given that Gluck 3000.
He's either got a limp wrist or he throws up the peace sign. Either way,
Yeah.
if you know what I'm getting at.
But no, the point is that at the end of the fucking day, it's telling when the opposition is coming from the most vocally violent. Mind you, the Groypers are non-violent from hell because they're all limp wrist pieces of shit that couldn't fucking commit violence to save their fucking own lives. But the point is that what you end up having is that they're the most vocally violent, and they're also the greatest opposition that we have currently. So riddle me that one, Batman.
The vocally violent ones, especially in that group, are the ones that actually worry me the most, generally speaking, because you can't predict them.
Oh,
well,
absolutely.
no, 90% of the time you can predict it. It's that 10% that all of a sudden something triggered them from going really loud and stupid to 3 seconds later, there's blood on the ground.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because they have no governor.
Oh, yeah. But the point is that you look at their rhetoric, they're as extreme as they can be, and and again, I as I stated to the one guy earlier, it's like they're fucking controlled opposition. They're meant to be the left's boogeymen. That's all they are. And at the end of the fucking day, they'll get lined up with the rest of them. Like and mind you, we need to use Galil's just for irony factor. Just
Okay,
saying.
now that is funny. Well, no, it's really funny because one, Galil is entirely Israeli, based off of an AK. So I mean, you get both halves there.
Yes. I'm glad that Will picked it up. But the point is that at the end of the fucking day, you're talking about they are trying desperately to amp up the rhetoric. And then the rest of us who are just doing the work, we're building out the fucking target packages. We're building out the fucking knowledge. We're building out the fucking cultural, philosophical, and moral codes to be able to adapt and overcome this situation. We're having fucking kids. We're building out a system to take over the system that we're trying to preserve, and they're fucking losing their shit because of it. And they the only thing they have is violence at that point in time. It's the only thing. Without violence, they have nothing. And thus, we keep moderating. We keep bringing the adoptables into, like, I've got a fucking borderline radfem lesbian that I have managed to bring into our fold to the point where now she sees some shit. The first person she messages is me.
Well, that's
because she's like,
don't forget about the 15-year-old that I've pretty much adopted.
Yeah, well, yeah, just to let you guys know, we have me and Poe have secretly been together for 15 years. We had a child when we were younger.
Yes, I got pregnant at like 15 years old because her mom's
teen mom over
the
here.
fact that her mom's my age, goddamn. Ah,
That's what makes the joke even better.
bitch, I'm old. Fuck.
But no, a friend, a girl that Poe ended up connecting with at some point in time. I don't know the full story, but
She came my way, and it's I don't even remember what I posted or what I said, but she started asking me questions about subculture shit because she's an
whatever.
emo kid, and then it started from there. And now
cool,
she's
whatever.
like, I
No.
hate Muslims. I'm like, good girl.
Good girl.
But no, yeah, but no. The point is that they're so I've managed. She's picked up a pure blood Zoomer. I've managed to pick up a borderline radfem fucking
Alpha,
lesbian.
actually.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a Zoomer. Yeah,
Oh,
she's
no.
Gen Alpha. She was born in 2010.
Oh,
Oh God. Oh God.
So
Oh
I'm
God.
13
Yeah, she
years
is.
older than her.
She
Where
is an
is
alpha.
my
Holy shit.
Yeah,
She's-
where's my
she's
early
a-
bird
she's an
special, man?
OG alpha.
I'm old.
Wait. See, babe. What did I tell you the other day? We had to fucking save alpha. Like we just have to save alpha, and then we can break the fucking
she's
cycle.
part of the younger half of Alpha, so like she's a lot closer to Zoomers than.
No, she's part of. She's the oldest alpha.
I thought
Yeah,
she
she's
was.
the oldest
I
alpha.
thought the generation started with like 2009, 2010.
No, it was 2010, 2011.
Yep.
So she's
Yeah.
the start. Oh wow,
Yeah,
brain.
she's the start of alphas.
You know what I
But
meant.
anyways, getting back to our point, is that if we continue pulling the adoptables to our side, we continue building our forces against these people, and we just create a bulwark where it's like, we don't give a fuck what you have to say. We're going to kill you anyways. You're just wasting oxygen. Please line up on the fucking wall and stop wasting our time. And that's what it's going to come to. Again, with everything being considered, and especially with the fucking yeoman's work that Tulsi Gabbard's doing right now. And I'm gonna start referring to her as Matriarch Gabbard. I'm gonna start calling her that.
Calling her what? Say that again?
Matriarch Gabbard.
Oh, matriarch. Yeah, okay, real quick. The person I thought that was going to be doing the yeoman's work was going to be Bondi. She has been a shit show from day one.
Well,
Where Gabbard
so
has been put to the grindstone and gone nuts.
So I do have to defend Bondi. Bondi's issue is that she opens her mouth when her mouth needs to remain closed. She does a lot of. If you look at all the victories, that they have won in SCOTUS, that's all on Bondi. But the issue with her is she can't stop saying stupid shit. So you just need to take her phone from her, and she'd be perfect.
I want to, and I also need to point this out in defense of Bondi. Bondi's a fucking celebrity lawyer. You have to understand who Bondi is. He is a celebrity lawyer. And so she's done the celebrity shtick her entire fucking life. She wasn't prepared to come into the government and do the government stuff. But yes, Dale's completely fucking right. Every fucking major win that we've gotten in SCOTUS. Hell, fucking Texas. Texas was her.
Yep.
Yeah. She had a big hand in Texas.
Yeah.
But, so...
Yeah, I'm not saying she hasn't done anything. She's been a massive disappointment compared to what she should have been and is capable of.
Yeah, her potential, she definitely wasted. She wasted her momentum. She definitely wasted her momentum, and she's trying to rebuild that momentum. But Gabbard fucking doing what she's doing right now, I don't care who you fucking... I just don't care. You try to trash on Gabbard, and I'm going to immediately be like, shall I kill them? Say the word, madam.
No one dunks on Hawaiian muscle mommy while I'm listening.
No, it's like, no, I do. I will say this. I will say. well, seriously, I do have to say it like this. People trying to attack Gabbard at this point in time, the Italian wants to come out and play. And if the Italian wants to come out and play, that's a problem for fucking everybody. This is an equal opportunities, left, right, and center. Like, let's fucking go. But that's what we end up coming to, is that if we can continue moderating our position, we can continue building the alliance that we are building right now. ARC is happening. ARC is building right now. The Chinese are posturing like motherfuckers, but in the background, the coordination between the Japanese, the Chinese, and the Russians, most people don't fucking realize this. The reason why the Chinese and the Americans have been at odds with each other so fucking much is over Japan. Because Japan just offered the Kuril Islands to the fucking Russians. Just said, fuck it, we're dropping our claim to the Kuril Islands.
Oh, really?
So it's like, oh my God, if we can just finalize the border dispute between Japan and China, at that point in time, the war in the Pacific's over. Oh, by the way, reminder, Japan and Russia have never signed a peace treaty from World War II. They're still technically at war.
Yep.
They never finalized an agreement. And all of this happening at the same time, the yen carry trade is being unwound. The Japanese have been handed their marching orders, and they have been told, you are officially free to fire away. Have fun.
Yeah, well, not only fire away, it's start building up.
Well, yeah. No, like Trump literally handed them their independence like 2 weeks ago. They no longer they no longer have to bequeath their foreign policy to the United States.
How did I miss that happening? I mean, I know I've been busy, but how did I miss that happening?
So at this point in time, one, we just unchained our best ally that we have, period in a story. I don't care what anybody has to say. Anybody wants to be like, oh, Israel's our greatest ally. Israel's our greatest asset, not our ally.
Yes.
I would agree.
They're the most amazing asset in the fucking world because they are literally one of the best R&D countries in the world. The technology that Israel produces is fucking unparalleled compared to any other nation. Not even the United States can hold a candle to them.
Well, they have to get it right every time, otherwise they die. We can get it wrong 100 times.
No. I'm not even talking just military tech, bud. I'm talking agricultural tech, telecommunications technology. Fucking name it, they fucking do it better than anybody else.
Yes, I know. I wasn't just talking military either.
Like, at this point in time, I wouldn't be surprised to find out that Israel's managed within the past 3 years because they started deploying some greenhouse tech that allows and agricultural tech that allowed them to increase their fucking yields like a motherfucker. I wouldn't be surprised to find out they double or even triple their agricultural exports at this point in time because fuck it, why not? Fucking make that money.
Once they stop sending as much food as they are into oh god, that tiny little piece of shit spit of land.
Gaza.
Thank you. They will double their export. Do you know how much food they are sending every day?
How much?
It's spoiling before they can pass it out. It's so much.
Oh, I know. But that's the thing though, is at the end of the fucking day, Japan is the greatest fucking ally we have. Because Japan not only has the industry, but also has the capability. They have a society of responsibles. It's a whole society of them.
Yep.
Like the responsibles won in Japan and have been the fucking 10 times champion of winning that fight every goddamn fucking time. Even the Koreans have fucking lost that fight a couple times within the past fucking 20 years. The fucking Japanese are they're just fucking killing it.
The Koreans are losing that fight right now.
Yes, they're in a lose cycle again. But the point is once ARC is fully in place, which it's going to start with the cessation of hostilities between the U.S. and Russia and Ukraine, which is another reason why the Europeans are so desperate to stop the U.S. from ceasing hostilities there, because once that happens, the U.S. and the Russians by the way, just want to point out to anybody, there will be a train that runs from Moscow to fucking Chicago. There will be a train that runs from Moscow to Washington, D.C. There will be a train that runs from Moscow to fucking Los Angeles. There will be a tunnel that runs under the Bering Strait. Oh, and by the way, the Arctic is ours, motherfuckers. Don't try to fucking touch it.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, Greenland and Canada, those are ours too. Don't fucking worry. We just haven't finalized the agreement yet.
Yeah, that's only a matter of time. They just need to get screwed by Europe a couple more times.
Mm-hmm. No, it's literally. I would say within the decade. I believe that we're going to flip Greenland to us by 2030, bare minimum. And if Canada keeps going the way it's going, it could happen next year at this point.
That would be nice.
I could see Canada parts of Canada maybe happening by 2030, depending on the next set of elections. Greenland is going to take longer.
No. Here's the point: is the Europeans would have to, the Europeans, meaning the assholes that are running the show behind the scenes, they will have to go out of their way to lock Greenland down at this point in time. Here's the problem, is that they keep trying to play up this idea that, J.D. Vance got rejected in Greenland and he got told he wasn't welcome and got it. No, that's not the case. There's a reason why they're arresting Americans in Greenland every other fucking week, because they're trying to prevent us from communicating with the locals. They're trying desperately to keep us from communicating with the locals, because the Kingdom of Denmark fucking said the quiet part out loud. They revealed the fucking problems. The Greenlanders don't fucking like them, because the Greenlanders can't develop their fucking economy properly because Denmark has put so many restrictions on them, because Denmark wants to be the superior power in that relationship. Problem: if Greenland's allowed to develop its economy, Greenland would fucking outpace Denmark so goddamn quick it's unfucking real.
Yes.
And that's why I'm saying by 2030, we will know if we have Greenland or not. And it's going to be based on one simple fucking factor. Do the Greenlanders just basically tell the Danes to go fuck themselves? So, but no, fucking Canada, that shit's happening either next year, middle of next year, end of next year. That's the timetable I've got for Canada. And Alberta, basically at this point in time, what I suspect is going to happen is Danielle Smith is going to get a manila envelope slapped down on her desk, and she's going to get told, you're going to have this fucking vote, bitch.
Would be interested.
Well, remember, Ottawa is currently pressuring Danielle Smith to cancel the election, because the election on that referendum is in May. That referendum happens in May, and then if the U.S. and Alberta and Saskatchewan might join, Manitoba might join. Hell, at this point in time, it looks like British Columbia might be in, because British Columbia is getting overwhelmed with the entirety of the rural parts of British Columbia are fucking game to leave Canada. Vancouver, I almost said its proper name, sorry. Vancouver is the only fucking place in British Columbia that doesn't want to secede. And even Vancouver is now sitting there fucking teetering on the brink of collapse because now the fucking triad is fucking going hog wild in that city. This is why they're importing hundreds of thousands of people into Canada to prevent it from flipping. Because if Canada fucking flips, Europe's done. Period. End of story. The only way Europe survives is if they retain Canada, which is why Mark Carney's there. Mark Carney is there to preserve the Dominion. That's his whole role. All right, real quick, let's pause there for a second. I need to go do trucks. Do my call in real quick. Little side topic while I'm walking around. Have you guys been paying attention to the silver market?
I know it's going up, but I don't know by how much.
It's over $60.
Nice.
Really? Okay.
I saw that earlier and I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers are so screwed. I'm fully anticipating the COMEX to blow out. I'd say January, maybe February. Like at this point in time, like they're not going to be able to fucking, they're not going to be able to fulfill deliveries of silver at this point in time if that continues. And remember what precious metal backs the British pound?
Silver.
Yep.
No matter how much they want to say it doesn't. Yep.
Real quick, what's the British pound trading at right now?
1 moment. Let's see. Nope, that's a Canadian dollar. Looking for a real currency here. All right, so pound. It's 1.33 US dollars per pound.
Holy shit!
How much?
$1. So 1 pound is worth $1.33.
Oh
Wow,
no.
silver's taking a nosedive. I remember back when silver used to be $20-something an ounce.
Silver's over $60 an ounce right now.
Yeah. Oh, when you said pound, I thought
No,
you meant
now
the British currency, not pound of silver. Never mind.
No, I was talking about the British pound.
Yeah, that's what I.
And what that shows is that it's at 133,
Yes.
which means it's strengthened. What's the euro trading at right now?
Your $2 is. Yeah, for some reason it keeps recommending me Canadian. It's 116.
116. Oh no.
Of course, it's going to keep recommending you Canadian dollars because that's where you're geolocated at.
Terrible.
Oh my lord. Oh, that's hilarious. 116.
F,
I still have to fix it fully, but
F in chat for Dale.
So just to give context on why I'm laughing at that, that means that the British pound has strengthened another 5 cents, and the British don't want that. they do not want that whatsoever right now. And the euro being at 116, oh man, the reverse repo facility is not they're not fucking using lube. Oh man.
So why wouldn't they want the pound stronger?
Okay, so a stronger pound means goods cost more.
Wait, wouldn't it mean goods cost less relative to other imported goods would cost less because now their currency is worth more?
Well, you would think that, but here's the problem: is now they're having to, because remember, they have to use dollars as well. And so they are getting less dollars from the repo facilities here in the U.S., and thus it's creating the conditions where they are not able to buy as much in dollars, and it's creating a squeeze on their ability to do things. But that's the point, is that like, for example, when the Russian ruble was trading at I think it was 144 to the dollar, everybody was like, "Oh, the ruble is gonna collapse. It's gonna collapse. It's gonna," and then it dropped to fucking like 124 or something like that. And I'm like, ah. But the Russians, for their economic purposes, they don't want the ruble stronger than, I believe it's like 84 or 74. It's either 84 or 74.
It's currently 72. Or sorry, 77.
Okay. Yeah, they don't want it. Then it's 74 that they don't want it. They don't want it stronger than 74 to the dollar, because having a weaker currency allows you to trade more freely. Having a stronger currency, you can't trade as freely.
Right.
Oh, that's a lot of ice. Fuck. Guys, I'm in danger.
Snowy out there.
Wow.
Yeah, I forgot it's December and you live in a northern latitude.
Not that northern.
Not 12-foot snowbanks, but a good 1 or 2 feet easily.
Yeah. Fun fact.
But no,
it's minus 21 where I am right now.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Oh, thank you.
It's like
You could. Okay. You can keep the ice planet hot.
Yes.
Hey, you know what? If you go far enough back, Hoth was pretty damn cool. Because that's where they had a serious Jedi general.
What's cooler than a planet made of ice?
Yes. Oh, smart ass.
It is currently 36 degrees, feels like 24.
Yeah, William, you're right. General Hoth of the Old Republic.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he broke the Sith.
Too bad he's no longer canon.
He's not.
Yeah, I just ignore what Disney put out. I just consider whatever the mouse put out has rabies dealt with in a second.
It has rabies.
Likewise, whatever the mouse put out, I do not even fuck with.
No.
Damn it, they should have taken the mouse instead of Peanut.
Yep.
Stupid fucking New York.
Yeah.
I would tell
Wow,
you this,
yeah,
though.
it is 33 up near me. Whoa.
Is that unseasonably warm or cold?
It's like 10, 15 degrees warmer than it has been for the last almost week.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's quite a bit more north than I am.
Yeah.
Not much, but yeah, enough.
Michigan versus Ohio.
Hey, that's why I got a deer rifle. He's down in Ohio.
You know what? Also earlier today, I was watching some cryptid videos, and one of the more interesting ones that I found were one of the Michigan Dog Man, and another one was some sort of incident that happened in rural Ohio in 1981.
Interesting. What happened? What incident happened?
Well, if I remember correctly, it involved a farm under siege by Sasquatches.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that was down
in Ohio. No.
Yeah, that was down in Southeast Ohio, if I remember correctly.
Interesting.
It's out by, if I remember correctly, it's in a community outside of Carrollsville, Ohio.
I'd have to rewatch it.
So this is a known thing that happened amongst Ohioans.
Well, if you are an SCP kid or whatever, because a lot of cryptid stuff gets turned into SCP. So
FCP?
Yeah.
Secure, contain, protect.
Oh.
It's basically a ongoing fan fiction project.
Yeah.
My favorite's still the chair.
Oh dear. What does the chair do?
The chair. So when you walk into the room with the chair, if you require a seat, the chair will always be there. But the downside of the chair is that the chair wants to be complimented. And so complimenting the chair's aesthetics, comforts, et cetera, is required. Otherwise, the chair will kill you.
There's always a catch.
Well, what they ended up doing is...
What kind of Looney Tunes BS is that?
Well, no, here's the reason why it's my favorite. What they did to contain the SCP in question, I forget what number it is, they mulched the chair and used it as the mulching for a flower garden. And then, because the chair was then part of the aesthetic of the flower bed, it was very content and happy. Because it was surrounded by beauty.
Very nice.
Yeah,
What?
no, it's such a very melancholic resolution to the SCP itself that it's just so funny. It's just like, okay, this is just good. I love this.
Yeah. Personally, my favorite SCP is probably the invisible alien worm that is stuck in Al Gore's head. If you don't know
There's
that one,
nothing
basically,
about that.
yeah, basically, it belongs to a series of a species that takes over worlds by like embedding themselves in the head of the world leaders, and then slowly doing that to everyone after it's controlled the leader. And it just so happened to misunderstand what was happening during the 2000 election between Bush and Gore, and it implanted itself into the loser, and now it's just kind of stuck there.
Well, that would explain why Gore's such a wackadoodle.
Yep.
That's a good one. I like that.
It's also one of those that's not contained, just because they're like, well, we don't really need to contain it. Just leave it in Al Gore. It can't get out, and he's not the president, so we'll just kind of leave it alone.
Hey, I will be right back, guys. I gotta take a phone call.
All right, no worries.
There is one SCP that I don't really know what to think about it. It's the cyborg girl.
I do not know that one.
Yeah, she was apparently abducted by a mad scientist and turned into a cyborg. You know what would be interesting?
What?
Is if the Dragon Ball universe had their own version of the SCP, and Goku and Vegeta and the Z Fighters were classified as SCP objects.
Yeah.
But they're not contained and actually work for the SCP Foundation.
I think there are a few SCPs that work for the SCP Foundation in.
No, there's quite a
SCP
few.
world. Yeah.
Yeah, there's.
Well, I'm
there's-
back until the phone call goes through, so you got me for a minute.
Yeah, no, there's a couple SCPs that actually work for the Foundation. There's the one that's a scientist.
Yeah.
There's the other one which can read minds.
Is the scientist you're referring to the one that then, whenever his body dies, he teleports into the nearest dead body?
Yes.
Fun fact: do you know? So during the Al Gore happening, the U.S. government. So George Bush died, and the U.S. government, because they knew this thing was in Al Gore, they brought that guy into George Bush's body in order to stop the brain worm from becoming president.
That's funny. I like that.
That sounds too
on-
awesome.
So yes, the 2000 election was
Then there-
actually between two different SCPs.
And then of course you have the one scientist that managed to implant his consciousness into an amulet. My favorite arc of his, I forget what the SCP is, but basically the SCP Foundation finds out about an entity that, if allowed to succeed, will destroy the universe. But the only way for the entity to succeed is if it takes control of humanity. So the SCP Foundation declares war on humanity.
Interesting.
You know what would be funny?
What?
Is if Gold Ship was a SCP.
What is that?
Not the horse, but the Uma based off the real Gold Ship.
You're so obsessed with that show. It's just hilarious. But no, what's great about this SCP is that what the SCP Foundation does is it sends out a mimetic message to its members, and basically like they send out a notice to all of their people, and they basically say, we don't know what the notice truly says, but it basically is, either get on program or fucking resign or kill yourself, basically. And so, literally, a huge chunk of the foundation either resigns or commits suicide. And then the foundation sends out a mimetic attack on its own people, which then brainwashes their people to not have emotions. And anybody that they find with emotions, because emotions are how the entity controls stuff, they then just kill anybody they find with emotions.
You know what would be fucking awesome?
What?
Is the Green Goblin truck from Maximum Overdrive?
Mm-hmm.
Turn that into an SCP.
All right, I'm almost back, but I need to do my reports, but I am not standing outside to do my reports, so I'm going to do them in the comfort of my guard shack.
Oh, another good SCP candidate, Chucky, the Brad Dourif version.
Actually, if I remember correctly, there is an SCP that is based off Chucky. I'm pretty sure. Thank God I only have to do 2 of these rounds tonight. If I had to do
Lord.
more, it would suck.
Do you usually have
You
to
know
do
what's
more?
On Sundays, because we're shut down,
Mhm.
I have to do more. And it's just, if it was this cold outside right now, and I had to do a shit ton of rounds, like it would just fucking blow.
Right.
Oh, I was just thinking about this. Could you imagine co-starring with Brad Dourif in a movie?
They say they got flushed away.
Because here's the thing about Brad Dourif is whenever he's on set, he never breaks character.
Oh, so like Daniel Day-Lewis.
I reckon so.
Well, that's good, boys. All right.
Yeah,
so
they got flushed away like rats.
So I've got 03. Ron.
I haven't seen that movie in years, but I remember it.
What movie?
Flushed away.
Flushed Away. I remember that movie.
Take another one.
Rowan was actually thinking of just taking a hemp rope and then make a direct line to the stairs.
You know, I was over here on DeviantArt looking up some computer-generated versions of historical events, and I'm over here looking at the Battle of Petrograd, and I started thinking, how in the fuck did the Bolsheviks even manage to overthrow the Russian Empire?
Lots and lots of European officers helping them out.
And how many of those European officers enjoyed tea and crumpets?
Quite a few. Remember, the Allied or the Entente nations put something like 500,000 troops into Russia during the Revolution/Civil War.
Mm-hmm. And here's
so-
something else I was also wondering. Why the fuck did the Germans let Vladimir Lenin go?
Thanks, man. Yeah, you're good to go. Have
Because
a good
they
one.
wanted him to wreak havoc on the Eastern Front while they were fighting their war on two fronts.
Well,
Yeah,
so
but
that-
he was a
that
fucking
was the-
communist.
Yeah.
Okay,
but,
so
like,
that was the. Let me explain it because, like, I've done a deep dive into this history. So what you have to understand is the Lenin connection to the Bavarian Illuminati. So Lenin had
Do I need to?
gained.
If we're talking about the Illuminati, do I need to get my tinfoil hat on?
No, the Bavarian Illuminati were. So you know, like the Freemasons.
Yeah.
Yes.
We know the Freemasons as an organization exists, right?
Yes.
The
Yes.
Bavarian Illuminati were literally the Bavarian
Our
Freemasons.
little friend going and just
I was under the impression that the Freemasons and the Illuminati were enemies.
They
At
are.
least the American. I was fixing to say at least the American Freemasons.
Well,
I am.
remember, the American Freemasons and the European Freemasons are also enemies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
I can't do
yeah,
all
no,
that.
they literally hate each other, like through and through. But no, the Bavarian Illuminati are very much real. There's no tinfoil hats here. Like they're a real organization, or were a real organization before the Nationalist Socialists wiped them out too. But the point is what you end up having is the Bavarian Illuminati had been infiltrated by British intelligence services as part of their doctrine of the British Empire will be the last standing empire of Europe. And what ends up happening is that the Bavarian Illuminati are the ones that facilitate Lenin getting in contact with the German government, and then the German government getting Lenin back into Russia. Like, that's literally how it played out. So, at the end of the day, the people that were responsible for getting Lenin in good with the Germans at the core were the British. And then the British directly helped Leon Trotsky get back into Russia.
And I do know that there was a lot of friction between Vladimir and Leon.
Oh, they fucking despise each other. There's a reason why Lenin kicked him out after he killed the Tsar and his family.
And by he, you mean Leon.
Yeah, Trotsky. No, a lot of people like I've gotten the opportunity to make fun of a lot of Trotskyites within recent months, because they'll start trying to bloviate and shit like that, and I'm like, this is why your favorite dude Lenin fucking exiled him after he killed the Tsar. Because the Trotskyites are the ones that they're the ones that hardcore celebrate the Tsar and his family being murdered.
You know, I wonder.
Even the
Che Guevara. Che Guevara.
They're actually bloodthirsty socialists, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, the Trotskyites, they're the like truly murderous ones. What
Like
about
Che Guevara.
I just had
So Che Guevara is actually more in line with a Trotskyite than he is with a Leninist.
Yeah, Leninists were okay. So let me lay it out like this. So when Lenin exiles Trotsky, runs off to Spain first, and the only reason why he went to Spain was because at the time there was an enclave, a communist enclave in Spain that he could hide in for a short time, but then Franco and his guys, as time was going on, they started going after these enclaves. This was one of the preceding events to the Spanish Civil War. Leon leaves Spain because then Stalin starts sending people after Trotsky. Because one of the things that you have to understand is even though Stalin wasn't a good guy, Stalin did agree with Lenin on one particular thing, that murdering the Tsar was like, that was a bad fucking thing. How many Russians died as a result of the murder of the Tsar? Not a healthy thing for a nation.
Well, that's why you're socialist. Okay, so murdering the Tsar is about as suicidal as trying to completely uproot and dismantle a church, as opposed to just hijacking it like they're expertly doing in the United States. Almost like they learned something.
Well, yes, they adapted, but also hijacking religious institutions was...
Well, once you wiped the Tsar, you had to completely wipe all the institutions. So that's why they went after the church. Sequentially after.
Well, no. Okay, so you're misunderstanding a few things. So what the murder of the Tsar led to was the open civil war. The revolution happens. The Tsar is held in house arrest. The Tsar is murdered along with his family and all their servants. This is what causes the start of the Russian Civil War. Russian Civil War happens. The institutions had already been effectively taken over at that point in time because they needed to be in order to stabilize the situation from the Civil War. Then what ends up happening from there is Stalin was the one, because Lenin understood you can't go after the church because the church is the one thing that keeps the people grounded. If you go after the church, the people will rise up against you. Stalin didn't take this warning to heart, and then he was the one that tried to muster against the church. And what ended up happening is that literally what exactly happened that Lenin warned people about, that was the people will resist you, and that's exactly what happened. Stalin almost immediately stopped trying to go after the church because he understood, oh shit, if I try to do this, the people are going to rise up and they're going to fucking kill me.
Well, it doesn't sound like the rest of the Soviet bloc really heeded his warning.
Well, okay, but again, we're talking about the Russian civilization, not the rest of the other peoples of the Soviet bloc. We're talking about the Russian civilization. Anywhere where there was a Russian involved, the church was fine. Now, what then ends up happening is that the Politburo is like, well, shit, what do we do? So then they tried co-opting the church, and the church resisted that completely and utterly because people were like, no, you don't fucking touch the church.
Dude, orthodoxy against communism is some pretty fucking awesome. Gonna point that.
Yep.
Well, remember, the Roman Catholic Church is not the same Catholic Church that we had before, and remember, the direct connection to the original form of Christianity is the Orthodox Church. So
Correct.
the true Latin Church and the Orthodox Church are the only two credible churches in the entirety of the faith. The problem is that the Roman Catholic Church was co-opted by, I wonder who, and no, it wasn't the Brits this time. It's in the name if you didn't pick that up. And and that led to the destruction of what we know as the Latin Church, which then eventually leads to basically you have the Latin Church morphs into the original Catholic Church, and then by the time the Roman Catholic Church rolls around, that's when you have the schism between the Catholic Church and the Orthodox Church. And then later, Luther comes into play, which then leads to the schism of the Catholic Church and the Protestant Church. And then, unfortunately, leads to the Protestant Church being able to establish itself properly, which then, in and of itself, is a problem, because if Luther was around nowadays, he would be beating people upside the head with his fucking Bible.
Yep.
Well, yeah, there were literally civil wars fought during the Reformation over doctrine. So, no, that's actually, the one thing that prevents me from catechizing into the Catholic Church, popery.
Mm-hmm.
I can't justify a pope. I just can't.
Yeah, but if Luther was still around, he'd be fucking burning the independent Baptist pastors at the stake.
Well,
Yes.
Luther was actually very apologetic to the Eastern Orthodox. Well, most of the reformers were.
Well, okay, I will point this out though, because here's the thing: is I will not say this with my fucking chest. I will never respect a pope that takes his seat in the Vatican. Never.
No. It is legit. It's illegitimate.
Until the seat of the Pope is moved back to Ravenna, I will never acknowledge the Pope.
Okay, for the borderline pagan in here, can you please explain to me what the big deal about Rome is being the seat of the church? Because as far as I'm concerned, they're all Christ cucks. Who gives a damn?
Okay, well, first of all, go fuck yourself, pagan. Anyways,
The most pagan thing to do is to convert to Christ.
Yes.
I was about to say the fucking look at what happened to the fucking Swedes. Anyways,
Well, look, all I can say is from where I'm sitting, Christianity is why America's in the shape that it's in.
No,
Okay,
evangelical
sure,
Christianity is the reason.
yeah, you're comparing evangelical Christianity to the true Latin Church is not the same. Apples and fucking oranges, bud.
Like,
Literally.
And mind you, if anything, I'm closer to the Latin Church than I am to the Catholic Church.
Yes.
Which then at that point in time, motherfuckers get real squeamish when all of a sudden they have to acknowledge that, oh hey, by the way, remember, we have a bunch of things from Zoroastrianism in our doctrine. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's worth.
Anyway.
Hey, look,
it's worth noting.
my only experience with Christianity is evangelicalism. All right, it's all I know.
It's worth noting, Stoner, that so the evangelical heresy has only been around for about 150 years, as opposed to the 2,000 years that Christianity has been around for, and the more real.
Yes, and we call it a heresy. We call it a heresy for a reason.
Because
It's kind of funny since the heretics claim that they're what the OG church was.
No, not even close. They're not even a resemblance of the Latin Church. Because and here's the point. The Roman Catholics moved the seat of the Pope from Ravenna to Rome in order to consolidate their power over the church. The original Latin Church, which again was based in Ravenna. Does anybody know why it was based in Ravenna?
maybe sometime this week I can show you the thing. You can take a look for yourself.
Come on, please. Literally the most important figure in European history comes out of Ravenna. Who is it?
Sundays are my uncle.
Who had their fucking throne in Ravenna?
Hell if I know.
Charlemagne.
Oh,
I
wow.
thought Charlemagne was a bid.
Before break-ins,
I didn't know Charlemagne was originally out of Ravenna. Thought he was a bit more
Yeah,
northern than that.
his original throne was in Ravenna. Charlemagne's throne didn't move from Ravenna. It wasn't until after his death that when they had the schism between his sons, his one son who controlled Lombardy remained in Ravenna as his seat of power, and then you had Francia, Lothringia, and Saxony.
Keep the regular.
Okay, I've got to ask. Now, when I said that the evangelicals claim that they're like the OG church, I'm not talking about Catholics or Orthodox. I'm talking about like the ancient church back when the Romans were actively persecuting.
That's the dumbest one. That's one of the dumbest things they've ever said. I'm sure that Pastor Jim Bob in his tent with his hands covered in snake bites, and his King James Bible, I'm sure that's what the early church was like.
Evangelicals.
I'm sorry.
Like they don't even have sacraments.
No,
right?
they
don't even have communion. Right? It's in their fucking Bible where, Jesus says, take this bread for it is my body and this wine for it is my blood. They don't even do that.
Actually, they do.
They do?
Yes.
Not the same.
Are you sure?
It's symbolic and they don't take it as often as they
it's
ought.
Not common.
Do they?
Evangelical churches thought that they were trying to. It was basically they were trying to blame copy Martin Luther. It was mostly Methodists that didn't think that the Methodists were Methoding enough, as I heard somebody put it.
Okay, well, how did the early church organize itself? Because with how the Roman Catholics and the Eastern Orthodox organized, and with how the Romans used to persecute Christians, I don't really see that kind of stuff being viable 2,000 years ago.
The structure, and it's important with specifically with Roman Catholics to note, like the structure that they organized around has largely remained the same. It's just everything inside the structure that's gone wrong in.
It also depends on the flavor of Christianity that you're trying to work out. Like Gnosticism is essentially disconnect from the world.
Gnosticism is, hey, we're going to worship Moloch without worshiping Moloch.
Yes, that was the original heresy.
The original doctrine of Christianity was ushering in the kingdom and manifesting it in real time now.
Yeah.
And the Gnostics are always disconnected from the world in such ridiculous ways. And you wouldn't believe how much Gnosticism is in like Baptist and evangelical circles, especially in the United States.
Okay, I don't know if the Eastern Orthodox do this, but I do know that the Catholics do this. But if you like praying to Mother Mary and if you're praying to other saints and whatnot, isn't that pretty much
No,
akin to praying to different other
no.
gods?
So I can explain this. They're not. Think of it like this. I want to do. Let's say I don't know you, Justin, and I want to ask you a favor. Now, would you be more likely to grant me that favor if I was to ask you directly, or if I was to go to your mom and say, "Hey, can you ask your son to do me this favor?" Would you be more likely?
Oh, you asked me to do it directly, I would do it for you.
So nobody is praying to anybody
Yes.
but God. But
think
since
of-
you're surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, living and dead in Christ, why can't they, in real time, living or dead, pray to you before the Father in the same way they can here?
Yes, it's not about praying to. It's asking intercessions from. Right?
You're asking
and
for them.
I'm also going to point out real quick. I'm going to point out that this is also one of the things that we picked up from Zoroastrianism.
Yeah, and it's like this is
Ancestral
one
honor.
of the big things that evangelicals just either cannot understand or pretend not to understand. But no one is.
No, they pretend.
Yeah,
They pretend because they're a fucking controlled opposition fucking religion that's meant to fucking create division. Like, that's all they are.
These divides in the modern day are just new flavors of some heresies that literally started to perpetuate themselves.
Like,
Christ.
dude, I'm gonna say this right fucking now. I literally pray to fucking Michael. Like, he is for all intents and purposes, he is my patron saint.
Sure, you're named
Yes.
after.
It's not even just that. It's the fact that I go into situations. I have been in plenty of fucking nail-biting situations in my life. And that motherfucker, he is the only fucking one other than Gabriel. And let's face it, Gabriel is the soldier, not the protector.
Well, when I know all of the old traditions, the Coptics, the Easterners, and Catholics, they all recognize that you're assigned an angel to watch over and pray for you.
Yes. I believe even.
And you can.
I believe even the high church Protestants even recognize that.
So the high church Protestants, they are essentially Catholic minus some of the sacraments.
Yes.
So I
Okay.
really.
Let me just point this out. Let me point this out for you guys real quick, because here's the thing that really fucking annoys me about, and Stoner, I'm not picking on you specifically, but this is just a problem that I have with fucking Gnostics in general as well. There's a bunch of quote unquote neo pagans out there that want to play this fucking stupid, but the Gnostics especially want to fucking play it.
Yeah.
On the fucking core, like the core structure of when it comes to just prayer, it is a case of, and we see this with Buddhists, we see this with Confucius, we see this with Shinto, we see this across the fucking board. You are able to pray through other entities to God. Period. End of story. This is not a fucking, weird fucking aberration to Christianity. It is a normal fucking practice, because again, across the board, if you and mind you, you have to actually understand the fucking history. When you go back to the Israelites, not to be confused with the Israelis, but you go back to the Israelites, you go back to the Judeans, you go back to the Canaanites. Understand, the Judeans and the Israelites, both Hebrew groups, go to war against the Canaanites because these motherfuckers are over here praying to a fucking corrupted fucking idol that fucking supposedly wants them to sacrifice fucking children. And the reason why we're going to war against them is because they keep fucking raiding our territories to steal fucking people to go fucking sacrifice them on their fucking altars.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a group of people that then, going forward in time, the Phoenicians, who are just the Canaanites in a new fucking skin, by the way. You then have the Phoenicians who basically do the same fucking thing, and the Greeks go to war with them because fuck you guys. That ain't our fucking type of shit. Fuck you. And then you carry forward and you realize that the motherfuckers that bitch the most about idolatry, they tend to align with Canaanite style fucking thinking, with the type of shit that they like to fucking participate in, and the rituals that they commit within their daily lives.
Yes. I found that evangelical
I will go on
thinking is so.
I will go on the record. I will go on the record and say, I will go on the record and say that anything that involves shedding the blood of innocent people or animals is dark magic and kills the soul.
Yes.
Okay, first off, I'm gonna say this real quick. Animal sacrifice, that is, there's a form of animal sacrifice that exists within fucking within Christianity. Guess what it's called?
Ooh.
Come on, anybody?
I think I see what you're going with. Arguably, arguably the what? Go for it.
Lent.
Oh, Lent.
Yes, Lent is a ritual of animal sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is you're saving your animals to butcher later.
Yeah, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be a call to Abel's sacrifice.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing.
Hey, Matt,
is that animal sacrifice is not unreasonable for 99% of the time. Now, there are some really, really fucked up ones that exist out there. Like, for example, there are certain Norse denominations. I'll use that term, even though it's not a proper term. But there are certain Norse denominations that would do this whole thing where they would like slit the fucking throat of a cow and fucking drag the cow across the fucking field and shit like that. And it was like, okay, that's just weird. But like 9 times out of fucking 10, it was literally, hey, we're going to sacrifice this to our God and then we're going to eat it. Like, that was 9 times out of 10 across the fucking board. The problem that is that you look at the vast majority of these motherfuckers out there. And again, I'm anti-Hamitic. I don't have a problem with the Semites. It's the fucking Hamitics that I have a fucking problem with. The Hamites. But
I have a problem with people that look at me and go, well, it's not about the religion, it's about the relationship. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about, dude.
Fucking, yeah, no, I fucking hate Gnostics. But, no, here's the thing, is that you actually look at it. Like, for example, what is OnlyFans?
Porn.
No, it's human sacrifice.
Yeah, I can see it.
Is there a difference?
Casual sex is human sacrifice, period.
Yep.
No, that the entire feminist movement is get our daughters, the matriarchs of our civilization, get our matriarchs to commit ritualistic suicide.
Yep. And also infanticide as well. Actual, literal infanticide.
Oh yeah, you mean the literal human sacrifice that they do to their. Oh, by the way, anybody know anything about Moloch? You know,
Yep.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the
really
ancients would
bad.
sacrifice. Yeah, the ancients would sacrifice their babies to Moloch.
Yep.
No. The Canaanite.
Yeah, that is the one.
Because
That is the
here's-
one Alex Jones conspiracy that I'll actually fall in line with.
No. Here's the fucked up part about it. What is the another name for Moloch?
Baal.
Baal. That's how you say it. Baal. But here's
Oh.
the problem.
Just
Baal
Baal?
doesn't have any fucking human sacrifice in his fucking temple. The actual worship of Baal, you offered fruits. You offered fruits to him. That was the whole thing. He wanted fruits.
That's funny because that explains why Cain fucked up. He probably didn't even know.
No. Fucking in the case of the cult of Baal, as they were originally called, eventually being referred to as the Canaanites. They left Babylon, or Sumer. My bad. They left Sumer as a nation group because they were driven out for their practices. They weren't like you go on the Wikipedia page and look at what it has to say about the Canaanites. Oh, they were a Semitic people. No, they fucking weren't. They were children of Ham.
Canaan
Also
goes
on the
way
subject,
too far
also on the subject of Ball, F in chat for Cliff Simmon,
Who is that?
the actor who played Ball in Stargate SG-1.
But no, the point is at the end of the fucking day, like, this is the fucking problem, is that you actually have to get down into the mythology, and this is a big fucking problem with Gnostics too, by the way. They don't read mythology at all.
Gnostics are iconoclast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Incredibly iconoclast.
But remember, what is mythology? What is epics? What are fucking ballads and so on and so forth? What are they? They're stories.
Yeah. A lot of it is
The
history
stories are,
before
in a
history
way-
was really recorded.
Exactly.
The stories are more alive than the person in some sense than the person's explaining them.
Nice.
One of my more favorite ballads is the Battle of New Orleans.
It's a good one. But the point is that at the end of the day, what you have with the Bible is literally a history book. It's just told in stories.
Yeah.
And once you
The Bible is a history book?
Yeah.
Once you read the Bible, and then you start reading the mythology behind the Bible, because you can't just read the Bible, you have to read the mythology. This is what makes us superior Christians, is because we actually know the mythology.
Well,
Then you start to understand.
The Bible's mythology is real in the sense that it directly reflects the soul of man, the most accurately.
Yeah.
Well, to a degree, yes. But what I'm referring to is the fact that there's a lot of details in the mythology that the Bible misses out on. Because imagine triple or even quadruple the size of the Bible in order to fit it all.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
once you start looking into the mythology, you start realizing, like, oh fuck, like, for example, the Great Flood. Oh wait, we now have scientific evidence. By the way, science is just the pursuit of knowledge, and the Bible is part of that. Creationism. Everybody loves the bitch that the evolutionists. They love the bitch that creationism is stupid, and it's like, but what if creationism is just evolution in a condensed form?
Yeah.
I was literally going to say, because the study of the sciences were developed and founded by the church.
Yeah.
You mean the father of science, Roger Bacon, was a fucking monk? Oh, color me surprised.
Yep.
What was the name of the fellow? Wasn't he the Big Bang founder?
Also, I think he was some sort of order of monk or something as well, but I can't remember his name. But yeah, also deeply. Well, actually,
I'm pretty sure he was an Orthodox monk too.
Yeah, I think more broadly what needs to be pointed out is the whole young Earth creationism nonsense. When that appeared in Christianity? Around 150 years ago in the U.S.
Did a gentleman by the name of Schofield happen to drop that into the conversation?
It was slightly before him. It was neither by Schofield nor John Darby Allen. It was by their disciples.
There was a fella that I listened to. He was lesser known, but he was a failed scholastic in the United States and a Southern Baptist, no less. The same people peddling creationism are the people that started pushing the flat Earth shit really hard back in the mid 1800s.
No. Here's the point: the 7 days story is literally evolution.
Yes.
Yes.
It's literally evolution.
Okay.
It's just told in a condensed form.
And it's also worth noting, specifically when you go back to the Old Testament, day doesn't actually mean day. Day can mean day can mean a very long time when it comes to the Old Testament. It's not a specific fixed meaning of time, like 24 hours. A day can be like thousands of years.
Do you guys remember the episode of Futurama where they touched on that?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Because at the end of the day, like, and this is what infuriates me about the whole conversation. This is why, like, it drives me insane whenever I come in contact with an evolutionist who then wants to bitch and whine and cry, and I'm like, and then I whip that fucking statement out, and then they get mad because I just disarmed their entire argument.
Ooh, you said Sky Daddy. Oh shit, my whole worldview shattered.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, again, what is God? Like
God is
again.
being
Yes, there is so much to again, you go back to the Latin Church and you actually start studying this is why I to a degree, I refer to myself as an OG of Latin, because it's like, no, like I don't align with the Catholics. I don't align with the Orthodox necessarily. I do tend to align with them a little bit. I'd say about 30%. But I don't align with the Catholics. I don't align with the Protestants and their denominations. I just don't, because it's like, no, fuck you. Like, you're a bunch of co-opted pieces of shit. The Romans fucking co-opted the Catholic Church in order to preserve their fucking power against Charlemagne.
Have I ever showed you guys Kent Hovind before?
No.
Dude, I met him twice.
What? I'm sorry to hear that.
Who is that?
He is a rather... Can I please tell this since I met him?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Kent Hovind is a young Earth creationist who, in the early 2000s, got real famous by making young Earth creationist teaching material and whatnot. And in about 2007, he got busted by the federal government for tax evasion and structuring, and spent time in Club Fed. And when he got out of Club Fed, he recreated his dinosaur Adventureland that he had in Pensacola, Florida, in Lenox, Alabama. So he pretty much went back to doing the same old shit. But this go around, since he still owes money to Uncle Sucker, what he's running is legally not in his name.
Yeah, he and Ken Ham from Answers in Genesis are both serial fraudsters.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in evangelical Christianity.
Yes.
And here's something else. And here's something else too that I also really find disturbing, is from what I was able to gather during my time there. Yeah, I actually spent a few days there at his Dinosaur Adventureland. Don't get me wrong, it's a pretty place. They got great exhibits there, some great hands-on stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as young Earth creationism goes, that kind of kills it. But at least they're nice and don't force it on you.
Can I?
Here's.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, and I just want to point this out. You go back and and this is the thing that I have with EM and it's really the only thing I have with EM, is that, you know, he pushes this position of, you know, the old English. Basically, he's an Oak Brethren. If you guys know what an Oak Brethren is.
Oh, excuse me, not off the top of my head.
Huh?
I said, excuse me, because I had some gas, and then not off of the top of my head.
Okay, so it's a type of paganism that was like prominent within the British Isles for ages and ages and ages. It really didn't go away until much later. We're talking like formal unification of England was when it finally like kind of petered out. Like King Alfred of England was an Oak Brethren. And what you end up having, you know, if you've ever heard the song by Oak and Ash and Thorn, but the whole thing is that you end up looking forward a little bit, and as England first comes together as a singular entity, and it's like, yeah, okay, you can push the idea that, you know, the Oak Brethren needs to come back, but here's the thing: is that you also look into the early Christianization of England, and you realize like it's straight up the Latin Church. And it wasn't until the Roman Catholics came in there that England went to shit.
Interesting.
And it's like at the end of the day, you start really looking and pushing and prodding into these different, you know, historical events and historical time periods, and you realize like the early Christians spread far and fucking wide and actually managed to get their fucking word out there pretty fucking well, and shit didn't go fucking awry until the fucking Roman Catholics came into play. And it's like, shit, all right, well, fuck, like we have a genesis point for most of the fucking chaos in the world. It's the fucking Roman Catholics.
Right.
And again, emphasis on Roman. They are effectively what we would call the deep state of Rome, and they persisted through the sacking of Rome by the Ostrogoths. They were the ones that knew how to manipulate the Ostrogoths into basically leaving them alone. This is why, you know, the Ostrogoths are referred to as the inheritors of Rome, because the Romans persisted through it. And we're still dealing with that shit to this period. And I will also point out, if you go back into the history a little bit, where did the Phoenicians flee after their war with the Greeks? Anybody know?
Nope.
Anatolia.
Anatolia. I thought they went out to Alexandria and Carthage.
They fled into Anatolia, and then what happened? What's a big name that we all know about in Anatolia? Think that time period. The greatest city to ever be on Anatolia's shores.
Babylonia.
No. Anatolia is Turkey, basically. Or it's the part of Turkey that's not Constantinople.
Yep.
Uh,
Come on,
Known
guys.
for the
Big wooden horse.
oh, Troy.
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 Right.
Troy. Then the Greeks come in and sack and raise Troy to the ground. And then where do the two groups of people that where are the two groups of people that end up out in the fucking Mediterranean after Troy is sacked? What are the two groups?
The Trojans. And the Phoenicians?
The Carthaginians
Oh, yeah.
and the Romans.
Right.
The Trojans got sacked.
Yeah, I use that word on purpose. But no, it literally the Trojans draw their etymology follows directly to the Carthaginians and the Romans. And then that split that occurs is, what settles a nice little period of peace. But then eventually you have the Carthaginians versus the Romans. Well, what were there's a reason why the Romans wanted to get rid of the Carthaginians, because the Carthaginians, a lot of people might not know this, but human sacrifice was definitely a thing the Carthaginians loved to do.
Yep.
And the Romans, remember, how did the Romans conduct their human sacrifice?
In the Colosseum.
Ding, 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 ding. We have winner. Which one was more, let's say, which one was easier for the people to stomach?
The Colosseum.
The Colosseum.
Yep. And thus, the open air human sacrifice in Carthage ends up getting wiped out. The human sacrifice in Rome ends up persisting because it's quote unquote regulated human sacrifice. And then eventually Rome gets wiped out. Now, here's the question. Where do we see the human sacrifice next?
After Rome got wiped out.
Oh, wouldn't that be the
Celtic?
the German and Celtic pagans and their human sacrifices in front of trees?
No, that's the thing, is the pagans weren't really, we don't see the human sacrifice past this point. We don't, because past the fall of the Western Empire, realize the Eastern Romans reformed it out of their system.
The only other human sacrifices I can think of would be the Aztecs.
Yeah.
Well, no. My point is, I'm following the genealogy of the Canaanites here. I'm following their genealogy. The point is you don't see the human sacrifice past the Roman Empire, the Western Empire, I should say. You don't see it past that, because the Byzantines, which is why the Byzantines persevered through all of it, was because they had gotten rid of all the worst aspects of the empire. They got rid of it. There were no Colosseums in Constantinople.
Yep.
And then, fast forward, all of a sudden, Catholic Church, all that, and then Roman Catholic Church, Vatican, all the bullshit. Because prior to that, you had Charlemagne reclaiming and rebuilding Europe, which, let's face it, the dude was a king among men.
Mm-hmm.
He was a good man.
Yep.
Fucking literally only had one wife, never had any bastards. Like, was legitimately a good man.
Yeah.
And then you don't see any of the bullshit until the Roman Catholic Church becomes a thing. And then, well, let's just face it, fucking 100 Years War, fucking 30 Years War, fucking World War I, World War II, Napoleonic War, etc., etc. Name it, bitch. Human sacrifice became war.
Interesting.
Hey, just for shits and
on it.
Mike, just for shits and giggles, tell me how you really feel about atheists and why you feel that way.
if I might answer this, all must be known about all I will ever say to atheists is this: Reddit is down the hall and to the left.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I was gonna go with
Salvation
that answer as well because, frankly speaking, like I get violent towards them at this point. I
Well,
just get violent.
salvation is for those who have not yet heard the gospel and those who choose in meekness to pursue it.
Mm-hmm.
Hell has been reserved for those that know God and reject Him anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that still really doesn't quite answer my question. I mean, yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I get the jab.
No, I'm not forcing. Dale would have to cut this from the video. Again, I get violent towards them. That's it.
I thought we weren't recording.
Oh no, we are.
This has been a great little conversation.
Yeah.
I want to point something out to you guys as well. Who's one of the largest investors in Europe?
Who's one of the largest? Who
is one of the largest? Or actually, I'm going to rephrase that question. Who is the largest investor in Europe?
Oh, investor. Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you.
Is it the Catholic Church?
The Roman Catholic Church.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the Pope just
Oh,
said that you.
The amount of shit that the Roman Catholic Church owns in Europe is astounding. It's ridiculous. Everybody likes to make quips about how how does the church have all this money? I can tell you how. I can tell you exactly how.
Okay, from ties, from all of their worldwide followers.
The tithes are a fucking fraction.
I wasn't finished.
Of their business income. Their business income is ridiculous.
Dude, can I please get two sentences out?
No.
Go ahead.
Fuck you.
Okay, that's
as I was saying, tithes, bank investments from the Vatican Bank, and who knows how much war booty they were able to get across throughout the century, get access to throughout the centuries.
Oh, I'll point this out. Which religion was targeted more in the Crusades?
The Muslims?
No.
Well, it depends which Crusades, right? I mean, there was
that
one where they went and sacked Constantinople.
There was many of them.
No, that's the point. Is that if you take the Crusades across the board, there was more sacking of Orthodox places than there were of Muslim places.
Yep.
For every Middle Eastern crusade, there was about 5 other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't use crusade as we are going to war somewhere. It's we were just going to battle. And we were going to take everything.
No, that's the point. Is that how many city-states across the Orthodox Mediterranean were sacked by the Crusades?
A whole lot.
Yeah, a lot. Fucking, for anybody know what Antioch had before it was Antioch?
Sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, it broke up really bad.
What's the name of Antioch before it was Antioch?
Oh.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Fuck if I know.
Yeah.
Alexandrina.
Oh yeah.
It was an Orthodox state. It was an Orthodox.
Yeah, I've heard of Alexandrina. Yeah, I've heard of Alexandrina. There used to be a big ass library there.
No, that was Alexandria.
Yeah, that's in Egypt. Antioch is like what? It's
Syria.
just it's Syria.
Think Syria. Think Syria. But no, like
Damn it! I don't know what the fuck I was
county of
thinking.
the county of Edessa.
Yeah.
Same deal. It was an Orthodox Orthodox city.
Also the Bible. And since I know they're really, really hurt, are they bloody?
No, my whole thing is that, again, like, you don't see the extreme bullshit until the Roman Catholic Church comes into play. Before when it was the Catholic Church during the time that they were in Ravenna, there wasn't the high level bullshit that was going on, or is going on, I should say. But then once the Vatican City is established, oh yeah, no, the full bore, just constant bullshit. And that's the key thing. And this is why I keep saying the people who are running the show do not have Wikipedia pages, and I wouldn't be surprised to find out quite a few of them happen to reside in the Vatican. Quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember this, again, as I said, Orthodox Christianity is the closest you can get to the original form of Christianity, period, in a story. It is the closest you can get to Latin Christianity.
Yep.
The closest. Because
I had to mute out for a minute.
And +1 for fight.
Because Christianity in the Levant morphed into Latin Christianity, and it codified all the Zoroastrian and Christian things together. And then eventually, when the Muslims came, this is why when if you look at the history, when Muhammad and his entourage went to Palmyra and basically got laughed out of the fucking city. Oh, wait, what happened soon after that? Oh, there was a massive schism in Islam where you now have 3 sects of Islam.
Yep.
And by the way, the only one that makes any sense whatsoever that actually has some genealogy to it is Ibadi Muslim, which, oh, by the way, Sunnis and Shia both hate Ibadis. I wonder why.
Ever since 9/11, I can just say fuck Islam.
Oh, no, like, I have no problem with Ibadi Muslims. No problem whatsoever. Because, like, for example, where does the crescent moon in Islam come from?
Not sure.
Paganism?
It comes from Babylon. Nana.
Yeah.
The god Nana. The crescent moon. What is the story of Nana? I will leave this house and sleep under the stars if I have to. And that is the story of Nana. The crescent moon is pulled directly from Zoroastrianism. And by the way, I will point out which group mostly aligns with Zoroastrianism and Christianity. It's the Ibadi. What you end up having with Ibadi Muslim or Ibadi Islam is Ibadi Islam and Christianity and together with what we refer to as the Hebrews, they complete the Trinity.
Really? Because I was under the impression that Muslims want to dominate anybody that's not Muslim, and if you happen to fall under their territory, yeah, guess what? You're a fucking second-class citizen.
Ibadi Muslims?
Yeah. Fuck that shit and fuck them.
Okay, well, congratulations. The Sunnis have tried to wipe out the Ibadi Muslims multiple times, and the Ibadi Muslims say, that's cute, let's kill you all.
Well, they just say, that's cute, we're going to kill you all to everybody.
Well, yes, true. But it's also from a perspective of, the Sunnis did wipe out, like the Ottomans did wipe out all Ibadi Muslims outside of Oman. and then the Ottomans sent multiple field armies. Multiple field armies disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Many a janissary died in the sands. And that's the point. And that's the point. Is that at the end of the day, like they want you to hate Islam because Islam is retarded if you're talking about Mohammedanism. Muhammad Islam is retarded. Islam as an actual thing came about as a organic thing through the Abadis. There's a reason why the Abadis just keep to themselves. There's a reason why the only real population of Abadi Muslims exists in Oman, because they just keep to themselves.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you can go to Oman and not get treated like shit because you don't happen to be Muslim.
You know what? With those kind of Muslims that just want to mind their own fucking business, I can live alongside that.
Well, here's the point: and this is another thing: is the more legalistic a religion is, or let me rephrase: the more legalistic a denomination of religion is, the more probable that they're just bullshit.
Yeah.
The more mysticism that is wrapped up in said denomination, the more legitimate. There's a reason why the Latin Church, incredibly mystic, it wasn't very legalistic at all until the Roman Catholics. Even the original Catholic Church,
Yeah.
wasn't that legalistic.
True. For the first 1,000 or so years, yeah, it was not very. This was a much later development, like where they got super
And then
legalistic.
orthodoxy, in the term of orthodoxy, dude. At this point in time, I'm surprised I don't walk into an Orthodox church and they're doing fuck. What's that? What's the fucking magic smoke shit that fucking
Incense?
the Native Americans use?
Oh.
No. Ayahuasca, whatever the fuck it's called.
Right. Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca, is that how you say it?
Yeah. But that's not a smoke stuff. They drink it. DMT
Oh,
is
whatever.
the smoked version of ayahuasca.
Whatever. The point is, I'm surprised I don't walk into an Orthodox church and those motherfuckers are on an ayahuasca trip, and it's just fucking hilarious. Like those motherfuckers are like, I can't wrap my head around a lot of the shit that some Orthodox that I've listened to some Orthodox priests say, because it's like, holy Jesus fucking Christ, dude, you gotta be out on a limb on this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the whole point.
Well, you know,
That's what
I
you get
am
with Abadi.
100%.
That's what you get with Abadi Muslims. Abadi Muslims are fucking hilarious like that. They are just as hilarious as the original Latin Church and the Orthodox. Like, it's like, holy shit, like, you guys are fucking, like, you're high as fuck right now.
It's because they've devoted
I am
study and
100%.
inward.
I am 100% convinced that the reason why the government banned psychedelics is because they don't want us to expand our minds, expand our spirituality, and tell the government to go fuck itself.
That is definitely one of them. The reasons.
To a degree. Now, here's the thing. The other problem is that we do know for a fact that if you should not take psychedelics, because unfortunately this is what makes being religious as a sober person so fucking challenging, is trying to reach those higher peaks is a challenge when sober. But the problem is that the after effects and the symptoms of using these drugs and these psychedelics, it can fuck somebody up real fucking bad. I'll use Rudyard Lynch as an example here.
I'd
Because
ask psychedelics.
that dude-
They all do it.
Well, that's the thing. Is Rudy fucking went on an ayahuasca trip, and he has completely fucking, he's just gone off the rails completely. Like,
Oh, yeah.
his analysis is completely worthless at this point in time.
Another
So-
example,
It-
Another example is Clay Martin. After he did his shrooms trip, he's now a Cascadian white nationalist racist.
Yeah, well, it's. I think the thing, the problem with psychedelics is that they open doors that were closed for a reason to the general population. Right? A lot of these,
Yes.
a lot of, if you go into, for example, Orthodox like monasteries, a lot of the experiences the monks can sometimes describe are similar to these psychedelic trips, and like the difference is those monks have been training themselves and their minds and their discernment for decades before any of this sort of thing happens. Right? Now, if you just take someone off the street, there are zero guardrails for that person's mind.
Oh, dude,
Right?
that fucking the monks that I know that I forget what there's a specific fungus that the Orthodox use. The average age of the individual who uses it is like in their 60s.
Yeah.
Like
And another reason, whenever you go into a sweat lodge, and there's a reason why there's an Indian elder in the sweat lodge. He's there to help lead you during your vision quest. He's there to help keep you from going off the rails.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, that's the whole thing is like you. At the end of the fucking day, you shouldn't use psychedelics because they are fucking dangerous.
Yes.
Like there's a reason. Like I had a friend of mine one time who wanted to do shrooms with me, and I was laughing my ass off at her, and she got super offended at first, and I'm like, you do realize that you are fried beyond belief. Like you as an individual are fried. And you can't fucking, like, you can barely function in real life. Like,
I can't even do mushrooms because of my autistic brain.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
It would completely destroy like who I am now.
If somebody has any psychological issues at all, and you touch those, you're screwed.
So I stick to weed.
And I can confirm this as someone who has done a lot of psychedelics in the past.
Yeah, you seem like the type.
Oh yeah. I've done a lot of
it. This is why you're Orthodox now. You did all the drugs. And you're just like,
yes,
I know the way.
I often refer to myself as a retired degenerate. But yeah. I have done a shit ton of.
I'm a monk.
I have done a shit ton of acid and shrooms in the past.
But no, that's
you
that's
sound
the
like
whole point is that you know, yes, you are correct in that assessment, Stoner, that yes, like the Roman Catholics especially notice how the Roman Catholics fucking preach against the use of psychedelics almost across the board.
Yeah.
And the reason is because they don't want people actually, because here's the thing is I've known multiple Roman Catholics who
You're with one.
You're not a Roman Catholic.
I mean, I'm an Irish Catholic.
There's a big difference because the Irish Catholics have always always had a bit of a resistance against the Roman Catholics.
Well, I mean, I kind of follow the Roman Catholics, but I have my gripes and I have my questions and all that. So
the only reason why I like Irish Catholics is because Alex Murphy is an Irish Catholic.
Who is that?
No, here's the thing.
RoboCop. It is canon. RoboCop's an Irish Catholic.
Okay, so real quick, let me explain the whole thing with the British Isles, and this is what and Ian Burlingame is correct in this regard, and I hate the fact that I have to admit it because I fucking hate the English as much as I fucking do, but the English-speaking world as a whole has a resistance against these motherfuckers And I'm not just speaking about the Roman Catholics specifically. I'm talking about the other Hamites among us. And yes, I do refer to the Roman Catholics as Hamites because of how they act. We have a particular resistance against them because we are, as one, having one key difference between us and them. What does the English speaking world almost across the board have that the non-English speaking world has?
What?
A determinedness to fight for ourselves and our loved ones. We do not like taking orders from.
Nope. Because, motherfucker, I tell you this right now, you find a king that actually fucking stands with you, you will follow that king through the gates of fucking hell. No, that is not
I can't argue with you there.
Winter.
Right.
Winter creates a whole different fucking dynamic.
Yep.
Because you have a limited amount of time to prepare for the winter.
Yeah, you need to
a very limited amount of time.
You need to store food because you can't grow anything in the winter.
It's not even just storing food. You have to
Fuel.
You have to make clothing. You have to chop wood. You have to store the food. You have to seed specific crops, like for example wheat.
Mm-hmm.
You have to seed it before the winter, because if you don't seed it before the winter, then you're not going to have a crop next year.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You have a very finite amount of time in order to prepare for the winter. Whereas the Mediterranean, what I'm referring to as the non-English world here, the Mediterranean doesn't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
It doesn't at all. And so
is that why they're trying?
We have a resistance against the bullshit. Go ahead, stop.
Is that why the elites are trying to make white people extinct?
No.
Not necessarily.
No. There's no. I can explain, and it's not about white people. Trust me, it's not about white people specifically.
Ew.
But what you end up having is we have a resistance against this bullshit, because at the end of the day, it's like, no, I gotta make sure I'm ready for winter. Fuck you. There's a reason why the motherfuckers that wear pants dominated the world.
Yes.
Now, this also creates the connection between us and the Russians. Because, and again, a fucking point that he pointed out very well, because my ancestors killed plenty of fucking Norwegians too, but what connects the Americans to the Russians? The fucking Scandinavians.
Yep.
Because the Norwegians and the Danes went west, the Swedes went east. And at the end of the fucking day, when you have cultures that meld together and start picking and choosing from each other, like, let's face it, fucking the British Isles is a mixture of fucking Britain, Pict, and
Norman.
Celtic, and Scandinavian. And then Russia is literally Scandinavian and Slavic.
Mm-hmm.
The Scandinavians, the outsiders, became what we call the Drozina.
Mm-hmm.
They became the leaders. They built up the Slavic people as the leadership. So at the end of the fucking day, it's like, okay, so yeah, we're innately connected to the Russians. Oh, by the way, what do the Russians also have to contend with? They have to contend with winter.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why we meld with these peoples in general in a way that we don't meld with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
We just don't. So, no, it's again,
aren't the 8?
We are creating. We have a situation where we are finally starting to get the thought leaders, and I will say it with confidence, and I will say it with gusto, that Tom Luongo, Ian Burlingame, and a few others, they're the thought leaders of this all. And as time goes on, and as things continue being pushed, we are realizing who the enemies are. Why else would we put out a new national security strategy that is centered on Europe? Why else? Because at the end of the day, the next great battleground is, well, what the battleground has been for thousands of years at this point. But the key difference this time is that, well, I don't think the estrogens, the resentfuls, that's the name that he uses, the resentfuls and the responsibles and the adaptables, or the adoptables. My bad, not adaptables, adoptables. The resentfuls don't like what they're seeing. They don't like what they're hearing, because now they're like, oh shit, the 3 great powers of the world are turning their guns towards us.
Mm-hmm.
Which then comes into, them flooding our countries with, at this point in time, Ian Burlingame, he laid out the numbers, and honestly speaking, I think he might be closer to right than I want to really acknowledge, because it's terrifying prospect. But there's a good possibility there's over 100 million fucking outsiders in our country at this point in time.
It's possible.
Fucking Canada's population has doubled within the past 10 years.
Yep.
Borderline. Fucking Europe's population is fucking absolutely insane. And it is, and this is, and Stoner, this is building into your comment that you made earlier. It's not about replacing white people. It's about creating a tripwire. Because when we go to start getting rid of these people, it's going to come to blood. Period. In the story. Because these people aren't going to want to leave. Period. They're going to refuse. And then at that point in time, that's when the bloodshed starts.
Yeah. I mean, it already has kind of started a little. They've already been.
Oh no, I already told Gavin this. There's really 5 stages of this, and we're firmly in the late early stages. Like we're in stage 1 right now, and we're about to go into stage 2. Stage 3 is when the true violence starts. Stage 4 is when the full-blown war starts. Like we're in the war, but like the actual mechanized warfare that we know as war, that's stage 4.
What is stage 5?
And then stage five is the cleanup. And stage 5 is going to be kind of commensurate with stage 4. Because stage 4 is going to we've finished the fight here, and then stage 4 continues over in Europe, because we're going to have to go liberate Europe at this point in time. Like, if nothing else, to liberate the lands that our people are from. Period in the story.
Yeah.
And then in regards to stage 5, it in the U.S. we're going to have to do the cleanup. It just is what it is. But I will say this right now. You'll be happy, Dale. Canada will firmly be in the hands of the United States.
Yep.
You won't be able to migrate very easily, but you'll have the opportunity.
Yeah. Well, I can do. I am in the process of doing that even now. It's just because I'm doing it the legal way. It takes a lot longer.
No, yeah, of course.
Question.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was a little busy earlier, but I was listening. A question, Mike. Will Korn get his bloodlust satisfied?
Who?
Hopefully not. Again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, the need to moderate ourselves. Hopefully not. Like, there's going to be a lot of bloodshed, absolutely. But if it's just wanton bloodshed, it's a waste of energy and effort. Like, I do love that EM does apply thermodynamics to this. Thermodynamically, wanton bloodshed is a waste. The men and materiel that will be lost if we go just hog wild will be such a drain on the United States. That's what these bastards want. They want us to just go hog wild. But if we go into a city and we say, hey, you're not supposed to be here, you're going home, and then say out of 10 guys, 2 of them decide to shoot, and we shoot those 2 guys, and we deport the other 8. Well, then at that point in time, that works.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the point is, at the end of the day, I would say about 20% of these motherfuckers are going to resist. The rest are just going to be too scared shitless because, at the end of the day, they don't want to fucking die. But yeah, no, we need to make sure that the bloodlust isn't wanted, because if it is, then we're fucked across the board. That's the big issue that I have when I'm trying to communicate with people about this topic, because again, people, they've been in that stage for forever at this point in time, and this is the whole point. They've been building us up towards this. They've been goading us and goading us and goading us and goading us, and finally everybody's at the stage where it's like, just give the fucking order. But the problem is if we do that gives them the waste of energy that they are needing us to do.
Right.
We cannot be butchers. We need to be surgeons. Like, that's the
and I do believe you're correct.
Because again, if we can get off with just killing 20%, from my example, then that's, at that point in time, it's like, okay, cool. We didn't have a massive loss of life, relatively speaking. We didn't have to expend a shit ton of lives to do it. And we didn't have to fucking expend a bunch of material.
Right. Seems win-win.
And then at that point in time, Europe's, because Europe is their stronghold, Europe is sitting there freaking the fuck out. They're freaking out right now. They're trying to figure out how to hurt the United States via canceling, $2.2 trillion in bonds. But the problem is that they realize, I do believe, because Scott Bessent literally dared them to do it. He's like, go ahead, have fun. Like, he didn't even put out a statement. Like, his statement on it wasn't even like, oh, well, that would be really bad for us, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't like trying to diffuse. It was literally, no, go ahead, do it. Watch what happens. You're gonna suffer way more than we're going to suffer. And oh, by the way, here's a fun little fact. What did Italy just do earlier this month, or this past month?
What did they do?
They demanded their gold back from the ECB.
Oh, did they?
Yep. Now here's the fun part about it. Here's the fun part about it is, where's the other 25% of their gold? Because the ECB only has 25% of Italy's reserves. Where's the other 25%?
Where?
Below the Miriam Eccles building.
Makes sense.
And for those who don't know, the Miriam Eccles building is in New York. the New York Fed. Oh, by the way, what's our stronghold in the Federal Reserve right now? The New York Fed. That's our monetary stronghold. And that means that 25% of Italy's reserves are secured. They're safe. There's nobody that can get a hold of them. But that's the thing, is that what you're watching is the dominoes are falling into place. If Italy goes and bails from the EU, you know, the Roman Catholics, they're gonna start up some shit in Italy for sure, because the Roman Catholics, at the end of the day, they're making buku cash off of the EU. They're making so fucking much. The EU is a fucking gold mine for them. Italy bails, all of a sudden they start getting tariffed, and all of a sudden the Roman Catholics have to start paying taxes. Oh yeah, it's gonna go over swimmingly. But let's remember something. Which country does the U.S. maintain the highest number of personnel in Europe?
Germany.
Would that be Germany?
Italy.
What?
I thought it was
Italy.
Germany.
Nope. It hasn't been Germany since the fucking Cold War ended, bud. Italy.
Let's fix it. Let's fix this thing. When that changed?
Back in the 90s.
Really?
99, 2000, we shifted a lot of forces around.
Ugh.
We still have a considerable number in Germany, but it's not nearly as many as we have in Italy.
Oh, also, speaking of Germany, what's the latest on their military rebuilding?
What military rebuilding?
They want to, but they don't have the money to do it.
It's not even the money.
They don't have the energy
Well,
to
I
do
know
it.
It's the energy.
Yeah.
They don't have the they just demoed their last nuclear power plant.
Yep.
Yeah, there's that.
They think they can produce
Can you
enough
say that
energy
again?
with the wind, and they can't.
Oh,
wait.
no. So
Germany.
Here's the thing. Is right now what they're doing, and this is what the EU is starting to do hard, is that they're trying to pivot into the French. But the problem is the French have a third of the industrial capacity the Germans do. And so what they're doing is, and at least this is what it looks like on the surface, they're starting to retool a lot of the German factories that produce war material, and they're starting to retool them to French standards.
It's ironic.
I will point out that the French equipment is like half the production cost.
Is the French equipment any good?
Really?
It's acceptable. It's really great. They're also trying to lean on the Swedes a little bit, but the Swedes don't have the industrial capacity. Basically, the only thing the Swedes are doing is they're producing the Gripen, and then the French, the French patterns for stuff are going to be probably used pretty heavily.
Well, no,
I know.
The Swedes have got that ship. No, that's
What'd
not
you
the
say?
Swedes. I was starting to. The Swedes have got that one ship that they're exporting everywhere, military ship, but it's not the Swedes.
You're thinking the Frem.
There's two of them. One of them is the Frem, but there's another one that's smaller.
Yeah, and the Frem is a joint project between Italy, France, and I forget who else.
Yeah, no, there's a second.
I will say this. About French small arms. The one good thing about them is they've only been dropped once and never fired.
Well, no, and that's the thing is like they're like when it comes to tank production, Rheinmetall's designs are garbage. They're absolutely horrendous.
Wait, hold up.
The
You know the old adage, the French copy no one and no one copies the French. Isn't that going to come into play?
well, that's the thing is that the Leopard is literally a waste of time. Like when it comes to armament purposes, they need something now, and the Leclerc is the closest thing that they can get to something that is passable. Even though the Leclerc is a garbage tank, and it really is, but it's better than the Leopard. Because the Leopard's maintenance costs are just so fucking high. The man hours, if I remember correctly, for every hour a Leopard is operational, it needs like 3 hours of work. It's horrendous.
Than the Abrams, and the Abrams uses a bloody turbine engine.
Yeah.
I was fixing to ask, well, isn't the Leopard's maintenance schedule a little bit better than what an Abrams is?
Nope. But no, it's the same basically. But the key thing is that the Abrams is able to operate in fucking cold weather.
With a turbine engine that drinks gas like my fucking drunk uncle.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you have to understand you have a tank that is heavier than the Leopard, better protected than the Leopard, is as fast as the Leopard, and can operate in extreme cold weather. Like, at the end of the fucking day, you're gonna have some trade-offs.
I thought the Abrams was fast. I thought the Abrams was faster than the Leopard, especially if a mechanic took the governor off the Abrams engine.
It's as fast as the Leopard.
With it being, what is it, like 15% heavier?
Oh yeah, it's much heavier, and that weight comes in the protection. And the protection on an Abrams is much, much better than a fucking Leopard. There's a reason.
When you're talking about weight, are we talking about the weight of the A2 Leopard or the A7 Leopard? Because the A7 Leopard is heavier than the earlier models.
Any of them.
I'm talking about any of them.
Yeah.
No, you have to understand. Okay, so real quick, I'm glad you brought that up because I almost forgot that the A7 existed. So
you're welcome.
Well, because they basically don't fucking exist. The Germans have like a battalion of them. They don't have any of them. They're running the A6s. The A6 is comparable to the Abrams in their maintenance schedule. The A7's maintenance schedule is worse than the Abrams. Like, the cost of maintenance on Leopard tanks is fucking insane. It's diabolically bad. I'll be right back.
I knew the Leopard kind of sucked, but I didn't know it sucked that hard.
That's the word I've seen is auto brain go down.
It had a lot of potential, and it just...
No.
It just failed.
No, the Leopard did not have any fucking potential as a platform. There's a reason why it lost.
Leopards, if they were built to spec, the way they wanted to build them, they did. But they cut so many things back on them from what was originally designed. They turned into crap.
Well, no. The problem is that all the shit they wanted on them originally. The problem is that it's like, oh, hey, we need to make something that's combat effective and not cost prohibitive. Well, guess what? The Germans are literally just fucking worthless when it comes to that. They can't do it. Like, I'm sorry, but at the end of the fucking day, like, I love the Leo fans as much as the next guy, but at the end of the fucking day, when your tank is more expensive to operate than every single fucking main battle tank on the battlefield. And on top of that, half of them are in the fucking shop getting worked on because of the maintenance schedule that's needed in order to keep them operational. Yeah, no, you have a shitty fucking warfighting vehicle. Like, logistics. That includes cost. That includes maintenance. That includes all that shit.
Well, which was the better Leopard? The Leopard 1 or Leopard 2?
The only Leopard was the Leopard 1.
Now, if you had to actually get down to the brass tacks, the Leopard 2 base model was the best of both worlds. You had the speed, you had the relative protection, you had the gun. The problem is that, again, because of the maintenance schedule, because you got to remember the motor that is put in those things, the Maybachs, they're fucking garbage. There's a reason why nobody else uses them. The base Leopard 2, I would say, is the best of them. Because, like, everybody would love to say the Leopard 1A5, but the Leopard 1A5, it doesn't have any protection whatsoever. There's a reason why they died so fucking easily in Ukraine.
Wait. They were using Leopard 1s in Ukraine. I thought Leopard 1s were fucking antiques.
That's probably why they gave them to them.
No, the Leopard 1A5, which is... It's like the fifth model generation.
Okay, so let me explain. So the Leopard 1A5 was used by basically every nation that wasn't building tanks of their own in Europe. And so a shit ton of nations had them in storage. They were meant to be reserve units. And
that makes sense.
They started shipping them at wholesale because the Europeans had a massive stockpile of 105 ammunition. And that's why they shipped Leopard 1A5s. They shipped the C-62s that Slovenia had that they rechambered or re-gunned with the L7A1. So on and so forth. So they were shipping a shit ton of 105 into the country. Hell, they were shipping fucking 105 light howitzers and shit like that too. Like, they were dumping everything in that fight. Hell, they even confiscated a guy's collection. A dude had a collection of 200 Leopard 1s, and they confiscated them, upgraded them to the A5 standard, and then gave them to Ukraine.
Kind of pissed off if somebody came and stole my antique toys.
Well, welcome to Europe. You will own nothing and be happy.
Yeah.
God, my ancestors left that godforsaken continent.
I don't even call it a continent anymore. I call it a peninsula. No, dude, that's an easy way to piss Europeans off too. Like, we will conquer your peninsula. Don't worry.
Yeah, my personal favorite way to piss off the Euros is to tell them, "Thank God my ancestors left."
Yep.
Well, so I love encountering Austrians that want to argue with me because I'm like, God, I'm so glad my grandpappy was so good at killing you motherfuckers. No, my great grandpappy he served in World War I on the Austrian front for Italy. If you know anything about the Austrian front with Italy, you know that my grandfather was great at killing Austrians.
To be fair, who isn't great at killing Austrians?
No.
World War I,
The Austrian front in Italy was a fucking shit show.
It was.
So, yeah, because you're fighting up a mountain every time. Like, you're just fighting in the Alps. It was some of the worst fighting in the world. No, my, just a little history about my grandfather. At least what I've been able to dig up about him. He was wounded 8 times. And you want to know what all of them were?
Sure.
Shrapnel wounds from artillery. Because that's just how much artillery they were using.
Yeah, makes sense.
Never got shot once. Always had something exploding near him.
You know, Mike, I forgot that you had ancestors that lived in Europe that recently.
Well, it's only the one part of the family. 1927 was a great year. My entire genetic line aligned in the same place. Which then also... oh, man. That little factoid pisses off a lot of people, too.
How so?
Because a lot of the anti-immigration crowd, they love talking about how we had a moratorium on immigration from like 1921 or something like that until like the 50s, and I laughed because I'm like, yeah. So how did my family come over in 1927? And then they find out I'm Italian, and then they start bitching about me being a wop. I'm like, I see. That's
I thought you were greasers.
What did you say?
So I thought Italians were greasers.
Wops without papers.
Yeah. Or sometimes, well,
Wow.
I think you might be conflating. Sometimes they're called greasy wops. So maybe that's where you got greasers
Grease
from.
balls.
Yeah.
What's another one, isn't it? Don't they also call you Dagos?
Yeah, Dago.
What's Dago from?
I don't actually really know that one. I know grease balls. It's because we eat a lot of greasy food.
Oh. I thought greaseball was implying that they themselves are greasy, not that they eat a lot of greasy food.
Oh no, we eat a lot of greasy food. We eat a lot of greasy food or oily food, and thus our body excretes extra oil.
Ah, fair enough.
The reason why my hair looks as great as it does.
Let's see another European slur that the Russians use: blackasses.
Justin.
Okay. I don't know that one.
I think that's what the Russians call a certain.
Justin.
What?
I'm on a phone with a bunch of people. Don't be doing racial stuff.
Yeah, and I'm on the phone too.
Yeah, he's recording a podcast, so we need all the racial stuff.
Yeah.
I got you on headphones, so she wasn't able to hear you.
Sad.
But no, my favorite thing to do with the Austrians, it's like, thank God my grandpappy was good at killing you bastards.
Thank you for the. Well,
Right.
thank you for the education. I very much appreciate it.
See, it's really funny too because my grandmother, my great grandmother, she would have a hoot hearing me talk about the fucking CIA the way I do.
Nice.
Oh, do tell. Wait, hold
Yeah,
on.
she
Wasn't your
yeah.
granny?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was fixing to say, wasn't? I was fixing to say, wasn't she a Christian in action?
That's a good one.
Yeah, no, she served in the Air Force and then got hired by the CIA.
Yep.
The CIA.
Yeah. Anyways, we are fast approaching the 3 hour and 30 minute mark. So I think this might be a good time to wrap things up for tonight.
Bro, I didn't realize we had gone that long. Fuck.
Oh yeah, we're
Yep.
on.
All right.
So I shall leave the
let's wrap
floor
it up.
open if anyone has any final thoughts.
Sleep sounds good.
Yes, it does. So then,
Fuck the Catholics, fuck the Gnostics, and fuck the Hamites.
yeah, especially fuck the Gnostics. And with that,
I don't have so much. I don't have so much as a final thought, but more like a question.
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
Why do Asians make for the prettiest trap?
Oh dear. Why?
That's a good question.
Justin!
Jesus Christ. All right.
Oh,
Let's go.
I thought that was like the beginning of a joke or something. But
You would have to ask Eric Swellwell.
No,
No,
he's just.
it wasn't.
fair enough. All right, then I guess with that question, I guess we
Turn
shall
off the
end it
damn
off.
light. People are
Um,
shooting you and outside or no?
Well, I'm sorry.
So,
I'm trying my best to keep my voice down. Everything
Oh my
talking too
God,
much.
Justin.
I was trying
turn
to
your-
keep my voice.
all right then. So with that final thought and one of us getting in trouble for slurring a bit too loudly, I guess we shall leave it at that and see you next week.
See ya, man. See ya.
Yeah, later.